I think we're live. Let me know in the chat if we're live. What's happening? How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing all right. Sonar, economic, my guy. Economic back in the chat. Hope you guys are doing all right. You guys are waiting. You guys are legends. I truly appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Like, you guys know, like, I just, yeah, the fact you guys are just, waiting for me to get on is just amazing, man. I really appreciate that. Hope you guys are doing all right. We got a couple of minutes until 6 o'clock opens up here. So we're going to wait for that and see what's going to happen. We got a bank holiday today. So let's hope there's some volume. The market is going to close earlier today. It's going to close at 1 or 12. So gold's going to close at 1 o'clock. So we're going to see if there's any volume. And if we can get a trade in, that would be nice. And I'm looking at creating a little community for the Discord soon. Maybe along this weekend that I will create something. So that would be nice. That would be nice as well. Let me know in the chat if anyone's here already. Let me know in the chat if you guys are here. Let's have a look though. Let's see what's gonna happen for today's session. So when it comes to the market for today, I'm in a bit of a predicament. The reason why is mostly because of the VIX, right? The VIX is looking really bearish. And I'm like, okay, maybe we want to keep falling on the VIX, right? And if we want to keep going down, there's a big chance for the Nasdaq to go higher. I remember that yesterday I was anticipating for price to continue, right? And then we had a massive buy back up on the VIX, right? And which caused an insane sell-off to the downside on the Nasdaq, as you guys can see here, right? So I wasn't anticipating this at all, especially with how the VIX was moving. But something that we saw, and what we were talking about yesterday, were those relative equal lows. And those were taken out, and afterwards, price just instantly shot back up. But we are selling off now again, right? So we are selling off now again. The question is this going to continue, right, on the VIX? Are we going to continue to the downside, especially looking at what happened yesterday, guys? It's just insane, right? The way on how we went down and then all the way back up. Interesting market. That's why I'm saying trading is one hell of a sport, guys. It's one hell of a sport, right? So when I'm looking at it for today, what could potentially happen? Maybe we can swipe the highs to the upside and actually start looking for a sell lower back to the inefficiency below, or we look for price to go into the inefficiency and actually look for continuations higher. All right, we are above the open of the day. It's not looking too clean when I'm saying this, like looking at the daily perspective. The daily candle looks a bit iffy, it's not looking too nice, I gotta be honest with you, but maybe it looks for a potential long continuation play here, and it's totally depending on the VIX, whether or not the VIX actually wants to sell and continue lower, go for previous day low, and potentially seek to fill in some of this inefficiency to the downside when it comes to the VIX on the higher time frame. I'm also looking at gold today. So when it comes to gold is also a bit of a... The daily candle is just not looking too nice today on both assets that we're trading, right? We're coming close to this inefficiency, or to this opening gap, you could say, on gold. And when I'm looking at the dollar seems like it might wants to go higher, right? So if this is the case and the dollar actually wants to go and rise up in price, we could potentially see the dollar or the gold in this instance going down. So then we have something to do. We also are trading above the weekly open. So potentially this is something we could be looking at, right? If this is the case, we're going to see what happens. It's interesting because it shows that there's a new weekly candle that opened up on gold, which is not really the case, but it's because of the bank holiday and a lot of stuff going on. So the market is a bit iffy today, right? So make sure that if you're going to get involved today, that you are using proper risk management. Because the market is just a bit dangerous on days like this, right? When we have a continuous day, this means that Monday is going to continue the day from today, as the closure is going to be earlier, so it's going to be calculated into one daily candle, right? So that's why you have to be really careful with what you're doing here, guys. Let's see who's in the chat. Let me know who's already tuned in. Leon, nice to see you, my friend. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the live stream. As of far, we're only live for 5 minutes, but yeah, who knows? Who knows? We got see Sonia tuning in as well. Welcome to the live stream. We got Sonar and we got Economic already. We got 13 people already tuning in. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. I'm doing good. I'm excited for today, especially when we looked at yesterday. Yesterday was a nice setup that we sadly missed out on, but maybe today we get something. Hopefully, we'll see what happens here. Currently, 6 is opening without a top wick, meaning that if they continue this to the downside and actually come back into this fair value gap, we might be looking for a long back higher, right? Also anticipating that the VIX then continues to the downside. This could be a play that we'll be looking for. We have to remind ourselves something that I explained yesterday on the whiteboard. We are above the daily open significantly, right? But it could just be a simple retracement for the daily open to go higher, right? So we're still trading then in that instance with the trend higher. The best setups are, of course, if we're below the daily open and the overall trend is bullish, that we then get involved in the bottom wick. But hey, if that's not the case today, we'll see what happens. Good morning, Clayton. Hope you're doing all right. I'm surprising you trading today. Yes, I'm trading today, for sure. I'm trading today. Yeah, it is a bank holiday, guys, right? We have July 4th tomorrow, but I am trading today because maybe something comes up, right? Let's say nothing comes up. It is what it is. We'll have to call it short today, but maybe something actually occurs, right? Maybe something occurs. And I also liked coming live, see you guys, speak to you guys, have a little chat, see what's up. You know, I enjoy that. I enjoy that a lot. So that's the reason why we're here. Good morning. Good morning to you too, my friend. Where are you guys from? Where are you guys tuning in from? Let me know in the chat where you guys are tuning in from. I'm still in Amsterdam, or close to Amsterdam, as you guys know. I'm still close to Amsterdam. I haven't moved anywhere yet. I've been really contemplating the last few days. Would I move to Asia for a bit? You know, rent out a little villa, lock in for a little bit. And I've been looking at it, and I'm like, okay, maybe once the streams are actually, you know, are rolling and everything is in place, I'm considering doing it. I mean, why not? Why not, guys? Why not? Why would I stay here if I can also live on the other side of the world, right? I'm from South Korea, but currently in London. Nice. Good morning from Belgium. All right, Steven, hopefully you're doing all right. Thailand is fun, but hot as hell. Yeah, I enjoy the hot weather, bro. I enjoy the hot weather, you know? Like, I'm more a beach type of guy, you know? I don't really mind it when it's like 35 degrees. I like that, you know? It's better, man. I have what you call it's like winter depression, right? The winter for me is not good. Not good. Like when it's snowing and stuff, it's different, you know. You're skiing or you're snowboarding, it's completely different. But just the snow in general, nah, it's not my type of vibe. And here in the Netherlands, it's pretty common to be cold, rainy. Yeah, it's not really my type of thing. Who is tuning in for the first time into the live stream? Let me know. And what is your bias for today? We got a bank holiday today, of course, so we have to be aware of that. The fact that the volume currently is really low, that's just part of the game, right? It's just part of the game. But hopefully we get some volume coming in soon. That price is actually going to drive either side, and then we're going to have some continuation model here to the upside. Like I already explained before, when we're looking at the VIX to me looks like it wants to continue to the downside, right? When there's not a lot of volume involved and it's just a clear, steady trend, some directional, right, trend, it tends to continue, right? So if we have some form of continuation back higher to then, to reverse back higher and then to continue the actual trend for the VIX, this means that we could potentially come lower on the Nasdaq to go higher. I think it might go up further to the new day opening gap and then drop. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, let's have a look what happens here. When I'm looking at gold is also in a little bit like, I'm comparing it against silver. You can see that silver already broke the highs and gold didn't. So if it comes to the correlating both metal assets in this instance, gold is looking weaker than silver, and we potentially could see gold looking to come back into this fair value gap, maybe to continue higher. But it also depends on what DXY is gonna do. Is DXY gonna continue to the downside? Is the big question, right? The moment we tap into this new day opening gap for DXY, are we going to respect it? If so, are we pushing down further, right? Meaning that gold could continue to rise higher. The question is, from where is it going to happen, right? If it's going to happen from here, it's a bit of a tough situation to be involved in, right? I'd rather have price come down a little bit further maybe take some internal liquidity here, and then look for that continuation move for gold, right? And then we have something like this. Something like this that would occur, right? In alignment with the DXY coming back into that gap and then continuing to sell off lower. That would be nice. That would be really nice, right? That would be really nice. Peace Nil, welcome to the live stream, my friend. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. We got 18 people watching on a bank holiday. On a bank holiday, right? On a bank holiday. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, even on the bank holiday, right? Volume is a little bit lower today, so be aware of that. It might not be a day to put money into the financial market. It's a bit more risky, but if something does play out and it looks nice, then I'm willing to take a trade here, but it totally depends on how it looks. Right now, I think gold looks the most favorable at the moment, depending on if we're coming down, yes or no, because it also looks really good when it comes to the DXY, right? When I'm looking at the DXY, and especially also on the higher time frame, so if we're looking on the higher time frame on the DXY, it looks like a correction, right? It looks like a correction, and if we're looking at the current trading range, we still could potentially come lower for like really inefficient pricing, right? So we could come back towards this level for like the 100, 200, or yeah, 100, 200 basically. We could come back into that level for price to potentially react from, right? We already tapped into the 50%. Is this going to be respected? I don't know. There's not really something here to base it off. So I would like to have it come a little bit lower here and have a more of a correctional move to the downside. Because if you look at it, on the DXY, you can see that we have a high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. See? Something like this. So that would be nice if this happens, meaning that we come back into that opening gap and then we're selling off lower. This means that we go a little bit higher and gold will go a little bit lower, and then we look for that continuation move to the upside. That would be nice. That would be really, really nice. For the guys that just tuned in, make sure to smash up the like if you've been here before and you like the live stream. It does help me. I'm not expecting a lot of people to tune in today because it's a bank holiday. But I'm still here, I'm still here chatting with you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy it though. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. All right, let's have a look here. So what's happening currently? Yeah, we can see that if we're looking at the VIX, for the guys that are wondering, if we're looking at the VIX, we can see now that we swept liquidity here for this candle and we move back into the fair value gap. Does everyone see it? We went precisely back to 50% of the fair value gap in between those candles, and we traded back above midnight open, and now 6 opened up. There's no top wick though on 6, as you guys can see here. All right, so there's no top wick, so that's still a little bit inefficient. They might want to come back for it. But if I'm looking at it now, it looks like it wants to continue to the downside. I hope for us personally that we do move down further first before we're going to start moving higher, because it's going to be a bit of a tough situation to be involved from here, right? I'd rather be involved a little bit lower and sweep some liquidity, for example, below 2 o'clock. You can see that we never traded back into 2 o'clock. You guys remember what we did yesterday, that we tried to trade it back to 2. This could be a potential trade entry, something we could be looking for. Let's say they actually sweep the highs like this. They sweep the highs, they come back down, give us some form of structural continuation to the downside in that instance. Then we could look for 2 o'clock to be mitigated, and we're trading above the daily open, and then we could actually potentially trade it back to this fair value gap, right? So there is some scenarios here that are potentially playing out. We just have to wait and see whether or not it wants to do it for us. Jamie, welcome to the live stream, bro. Hope you're doing all right. And yeah, that's basically it for today, guys. That's basically it. There's nothing much more to say or to look at, right? I have my biases. I have a couple of targets that I'm looking for that I think that could potentially play out for us. And we're just going to compare the VIX and make sure that we are in alignment with the VIX, and we make rational decisions based on what the VIX is showing us. And right now, the VIX is definitely selling off lower. Is it going to continue from here, right, and not provide us any lower wicks? If that's the case, it's going to be a bit of a tough entry. It's a bit of a tough entry here. But I hope so that we're going to go a little bit lower here. We'll see what happens here. So we can see that the 6 o'clock candle opened up here. So if we're looking at it, we also have a 12 o'clock candle, right? But in this instance, we're looking at the 6 one. You can see that we put in the bottom wick into the fair value gap and are pushing higher. When we're looking at the VIX in this instance, we can see that 6 opened up, you have no top wick, but we opened up in the fair value gap, we came back into it, and we're selling off lower, right? So you can see how we're selling off to the downside. The only problem that I have is that there's no top wick on the VIX, meaning that, let's say, for example, like I mentioned before, we take those highs, we give some form of correctional move and we're saying, okay, maybe we want to go down again, we could look for the VIX to actually take out that inefficiency, meaning that we could look for shorts on the Nasdaq here. Bowser, how you doing, bro? Hope you're doing all right. We got 27 people watching still on a bank holiday, which is insane, I hope you guys are doing all right. I really appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. If you would smash up the likes, that would be highly, highly appreciated. 216 contracts pending on NQ. 29,885. Are you looking at order flow? So you're looking, there's contracts for sell orders or there's buy stops? You are the only one streaming. Is that so? Is that so? I'm the only one streaming. Well, nice. Nice. That's good, I guess. Yes, Bookmap. Sell orders. I see. There's sell orders resting at 29,885. Yeah, let's see what happens here. 2885. I'll put it on the chart as a reference here, so we have something to look at. Press the wrong button. All right, let's see what happens here. 29885 and see what happens. And we're looking at the VIX. The VIX is definitely selling lower right now. As you guys can see, we went back higher into the fair value gap, like I mentioned before, on the 3 o'clock. And now it's just moving lower. Whether or not this is gonna continue higher is the big question here. Lewis, hope you're doing all right, bro. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome back. Let's have a look here. All right, let's see what we're doing. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. South Korea. We already saw South Korea here in the chat. I know some of you guys are tuning in from Thailand. Some other guys are tuning all over the world. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I know Bowser's tuning in from the USA, so that's nice as well. Got the United States in the building here. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Nigeria, nice, amazing. Phoenix, nice. Welcome to the live stream. All right, let's have a look here though. Yeah, so for gold, we just have to wait and see what happens here. Are we going to come down or are we going to come up here and then come to the downside? Cambodia, nice. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you guys are doing all right. Let's have a little look. Let's see. Yeah, so we're currently just moving down on the VIX. We have to see some form of, we have to just see what the market is going to show us. Until then, I can't really do anything, right? Like the market right now, it's not moving drastically well, right? So we just have to wait and see. Germany, nice. Welcome. North Korea, surprisingly. Okay. It's good to see you back as well, my friend. We got 35 people watching. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you guys are doing all right. For the guys that just tuned in, we're currently in a buy sell scenario, right? We're looking at both instances. We're just waiting to see what the market is showing us. If we first take out these highs and then show some form of displacement lower, I'll be looking for sells back to 2 o'clock, depending on how the VIX is forming. The VIX currently has a flat top on 6, so potentially they want to take that out. And if that happens and we're somewhere up here, we could look for the short to the downside. Morning, bro. You all right? Yes, I'm doing fantastically fine, man. I'm doing fantastically fine. Thank you for asking. Let me actually get the Lucid account here in place, so we have that also on the live stream. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's see. So we need to do open layout lights. All right, let's see. Let's put this one on here. If it wants to do it, come on. All right, let's see. And then we put this one here. All right. Boom, like that. All right, so we got the Lucid account here. And boom, put that on the 5-minute, just like that. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look what's going to happen here. Hi, bro. I'm from India. Welcome. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome to the live stream. How late is it for you guys? What is that? Like, where are you guys from? Like, how late is it right now? I'm generally like, what is the time zone? Because there's so many different people here. For me right now, it's 12 in the afternoon, right? It's 12 p.m. How late is it for you guys? I'm wondering. I know for the guys that are from the USA, probably it's around 6 o'clock in the morning, right? But if you're from India, you're 3 hours ahead of me, right? So it's like around, I think, something like that. I'm not precisely sure. but maybe it's around 4, 3, something like that. 8 p.m. in Australia. Nice. 3:17 a.m. Really, Chris? That's really Chris. You're a diehard, my friend. It's really early for you. Welcome to the welcome to the live stream, my friend. You are a diehard, bro. Well, that's insane. Nice. So where are you from, Chris? So you're from. Let me see. Oh, you haven't told me yet. So where are you from, Chris? That's so early for you. That's so early for you. We got 40 people watching. Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, I see. Okay. So it's 3 in the morning. Crazy. Okay then. Yeah, 3:48 p.m. Yeah. It's you're like 3.5 hours ahead of me in India. I was aware of it. I have a couple of people that I speak to that are from India as well. Let's see. Canada, nice. Welcome to the live stream. It's 11:17 a.m. here in Nigeria. Nice. Welcome. That's amazing. All right, let's have a look here, guys. So we're actually trading back into 6 o'clock right now. If I'm looking at the VIX, so if we're looking at the Nasdaq, sorry, I was showing you on the screen. If we're looking at the Nasdaq, we're trading back into 6 o'clock. The VIX is not really moving though. So the VIX is just stagnating here at the moment. Let's see what's going to happen here though. Let's see if there's anything showing up for us here potentially. The volume is really low, right? The volume is really low, but maybe there's still a potential setup here for us. And if so, we're going to try to get involved here, right? We're going to try to get involved here. So we can see that we already swept some liquidity in this instance. The question is, are we going to actually go first, take this high out, and then go? Or we're going to respect it as it is doing now. We're going to stay below it like this, right? That's the big question. We got a new 20-minute opening in 7 seconds. We didn't close below it, so it's not looking all too bright for the shorts as of yet. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it means, bro. So I don't know if I can say it. I'm gonna search it up first before I say this. Let me see what it means actually. Okay. Okay. Vanakam. Vanakam means hello. Vanakam. Vanakam means hello. So you guys know. Now we can speak a little bit of, I think it's Indian, right? Or what? Like, yeah, you guys in India, you have like so many languages. So I don't really know which one it is because, yeah, you have like multiple languages that you speak there. All right, if I'm correct, if I'm correct, there's a lot of languages that you guys speak. All right, let's have a look here though. So we're trying to trade below 6 o'clock right now. If I'm looking at the VIX is not showing me anything major yet, so I'm just staying off it for the minute. Let's see what the DXY is doing. So the DXY is trading higher again. This means that gold's probably going down soon. I hope that we're gonna get some lower prices and potentially could get involved in the long setup. They speak Indian mostly. Yeah, but you have multiple variations of languages in India. Right, you have a lot of different languages, bro. Like a lot of them. Like my dad went to visit India, and they spoke completely differently everywhere he went. Tamil is one of the oldest languages, bro. Is it really? I see. I never knew that. All right, let's have a look here. So we closed above it. We retested 6 o'clock. Price is selling lower. Is this going to be a continuation play to the downside? It's the question. Tamil, yes. Tamil. Yeah, well, I've heard of Tamil before, but I didn't know it was the oldest language. I didn't know that. We got 50 people watching on a bank holiday, which is surprising to me. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. If you enjoy the live stream, make sure to smash up the like if you've been here before. And if you want to tune in at the exact time I go live, make sure to hit the notification bell so you're always aware of when I go live. Right now, for the people that just tuned in, we're looking for a potential trade. It's both ends in this scenario. Either we're looking for shorts if we are taking this high and we give some form of displacement lower, we're going to look for the shorts back to 2 o'clock, because 2 is untraded, as you guys can see, and we also have fair value gaps below. But it totally depends on what the VIX is going to do here. So if we're looking at the VIX, for the guys that don't know, the VIX is the volatility index. It's what I use to compare against the Nasdaq, right? So I'm using it as an anti-correlator in this instance, because when the VIX goes down, the Nasdaq likes to go up, and it goes both ways in this instance, right? So at this moment, it looks like the VIX is selling off drastically, as you guys can see, right? The VIX looks like it's selling off drastically. This means that the Nasdaq is potentially just going to continue rising. So we have to either look for a long continuation setup. Problem is, we're in the top of the day, right? So the scenario that we're looking for is less likely to play out, because right now, let's say, for example, we're looking at this chart, right? And we would enter a long position now right here, right? We would have to put our stop here, which in this instance is okay because it's at the bottom wick of the 6. But look at how much price action is below that could be taken out before it actually goes, right? So I'd rather look for price to go lower first, take some of the liquidity out, and then show me displacement. So it shows me that, okay, we took something and we rebalanced some of the price action before I'm looking to continue with long setup. And also it increases the risk to reward ratio, of course, right? Because if I enter down here, I have clear targets to the upside. If I enter up here, I do have targets, of course, but I rather use targets that are intraday than, as in what is happening within the day, then I look for targets that are somewhere up here from previous day. I like that more. I've seen that the succession rate is higher, right? It's less likely that you take a previous day high than you take a current day high, right? So that's the explanation here. Vincent, how you doing, my friend? Welcome for tuning in again. Alles goed, grap? Hopelijk wel, hè? Alles lekker, hè? So Vincent is a friend of mine, guys, living the Bali lifestyle. He's just tuning in to see what I'm doing here on YouTube. He's just tuning in to see what I'm doing here on the YouTube live streams. But Vincent's going all right. It's going really good here. Tranquilo. Nice. It's good to see that you're tuning in, my friend. It's good to see that you're tuning in. Just landed in the Netherlands today, I see. So what are you going to do now? You're going to go back to Bali, or you're just going to stay here for a bit? Assalamu alaikum. My friend, welcome. Welcome to the live stream, my bro. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing all right. Oh, I just did something. All right. What's going on, Tommy? Not much, Reimer. Not much, bro. Not much. We're trying to trade the bank holiday right now, right? We're trying to trade the bank holiday, but we have to see whether or not it's going to do something for us because the volume is really low. I got to be honest with you guys. When I started the live stream, I was like, okay, maybe something is going to occur, right? And now I'm looking at it, and it looks like it might not do anything at all. But we're going to try and see whether or not some volume magically appears into the market. And if this is the case, we're going to try and get involved, right? 2 weeks here, then Cyprus again, and then Bali. Nice. Real nice, my friend. Real nice. Bro, tell about gold. So you want me to tell about gold. All right. So when it comes to gold, I already discussed this in the beginning of the live stream, but right now I'm looking for potential buys on gold. It depends though, because we're waiting for DXY. So the dollar is the anti-correlator for gold, right? I'm looking for dollar to come back into this gap above. And if they start selling lower, I will be looking for buys on gold. But I need gold to go lower first. I can't enter here, right? There's no way for me to enter here. So when gold actually comes down, I'll be interested in looking for buys. I don't know, the price action kind of tell me not to trade today. Now, yeah, you should definitely be more holding back in this instance, right? Save your money for another day if the market's not going to provide it. Indeed, it doesn't look that great, right? Now that I'm looking at it more deeply, I'm like, okay, maybe I made the wrong decision to look at the charts today or to live stream today and stuff like that. But I'm still here. I'm going to be here for a little while talking with all of you. chilling, and maybe we can go over some educational ideas, right? If you guys have any questions, you can ask me all the questions on how I look at the market until something occurs, right? Because it could still be that the volume decides to kick in within 20 minutes from now. We start rising lower really drastically, and then we move higher again, right? So it might still give us something. Did you short the Nasdaq yesterday? Yes, I had a small position to the downside. Yeah, I had a small position to the downside, but I had it later on in the day. I took it around 12 o'clock. All right, so I had a really small position to the downside. I made like $400, but I traded it to the downside on the 1 minute time frame. So when we're I can show you this, right? So when we're looking at 12, so 12 opened up here, right? And we took the high into the breaker formation, right? So we had the high into the breaker, and then we sold it off. And I got involved right around here, right? So I got involved here with my stop above 12, right here. And I had a simple 1 to 2 R return on the trade. So I just took something like this precisely, actually, to be honest. Yeah, so this was actually what I took to the downside at 12. But that's what I'm saying. So I have models for every hour of the day, right? So when it's 2 o'clock, I'm looking for liquidity, right? So the 2 o'clock model, so 2, I would be looking for liquidity. In this instance, there would be probably no trade at all for me. If I'm looking at 2, let's look. Nah, there wouldn't be nothing here, right? At 2 o'clock, there would not have been anything. But when it's 2 o'clock, I'm looking for liquidity, guys. You can write it down if you want to. 2 o'clock, I'm looking for liquidity. When it's 6 o'clock, I'm looking for reversals or continuation plays, right? Meaning as in I want to reverse the entire trend against the current, against whatever people are doing now. So in this instance, I could say I want to reverse it and I want to look for sells, right, to the downside back here. Or I want to continue, meaning that I want to go down first and then I want to continue the trend, right? So there's a couple of ways on how I look at it. And then I trade 10 o'clock. And 10 o'clock is a bit of an iffy situation because, of course, then the New York Stock Exchange opened up. And I'm going to explain to you because someone actually asked me this yesterday. Is the psychology different when 9:30 opens up, right? So when the New York Stock Exchange opens up. And I said no, but the answer is actually yes. But it's not for me. But the psychology of the market changes because you have to understand that the overnight, the stocks are all closed, right? And we're trading the Nasdaq. So we're trading the biggest tech companies combined, right? And what people forget is the moment New York Stock Exchange opens, there's so many people that jump into the stock market and are actively trading the stock market, meaning that there's a lot of liquidity, volatility coming into the market, different psychological beliefs on what's going to happen during the day, right? And that doesn't happen beforehand. That happens after 9:30. You guys understand what I'm saying? So the moment that happens, there's so much more indecisive behavior, right? The market likes to go some way, come back again, go up again, go down again. And a lot of people tend to blow their accounts during that period of time because they are like, okay, the trend wants to go, but the trend doesn't really want to go, right? They're not decisive yet. They did not make a direct decision. Okay, price is going to go here because this is for us fair value. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if you guys understand what I mean. And that doesn't happen before 9:30 open, right? So you can see, you can look back into the chart, but most of the times around just from Asia to 9:30, and then you have some time points that I'm looking at, the trend is more precise, right? It's more precisely to read. And when you get into 9:30, it likes to whipsaw, right? So you have 9:30 here, it goes up, it goes down again, right? And there would be a lot of people here that kept buying, they kept buying, and they're all getting stopped out, right? And people here are getting frustrated for the fact that they're getting stopped out. And then they're using price action from current day to validate their longs. And like I said before, when 9:30 opens up, it's a whole different game, right? It's a whole new day in this instance, because if we look at it from the regular trading hours perspective, you can see that everything that happened overnight is not even calculated into regular trading hours. So the actual cash session, right? Some people don't even see this stuff. They're not looking at it. They don't care. They're just looking at what is happening now and what is determined as fair value, right? And they just follow the trend. You can see how price went up. And for the 9:30 day open, you just have the simple up, down, closure, and closing it out. You see that? So the 9:30 candle simply looks like this. So if you look at the open here, right? You have the closure here. This is simply your 9:30 candle. Do you guys see that? So anything that happened after 9:30, this is your closure. You see that? Do you guys see what I'm saying here? Right? You have your bottom wick, you have your top wick, and you have your body, right? But if you're looking at the overall picture, let's say we're looking at the same picture here on a 3-minute, it looks completely different. You see what I'm saying? It looks completely different because I have all this structure involved as well, right? So this itself stands alone for a candle already. You see that? Does that make sense to the guys that are watching in the chat? So you have to understand that the moment 9:30 opens, the structural approach can completely like change. The whole decisiveness of the market is just gone. So that's why when I trade 9:30, it's a bit of a iffy situation. It's a bit of an iffy situation here, guys. That's why I like to trade beforehand. That's why I have some models that I look at that determine whether or not I'm allowed to trade or look into trades and stuff like that. The price is kind of ranging from pre-London. Yes. Yeah, no, well, it's not really doing anything at the moment, for sure. 4,000 would have been better still. Habibi, you missed my comment. What did you say? We as traders don't even chill on bank holidays. That's why how nuts I am as a trader. Yes, yes. Well, yeah, it's good sometimes to just to step away from the markets, you know? You don't have to trade it constantly. Sometimes it's a good idea to just step away for a second and reevaluate the situation, whether or not it is favorable to put money on. Right now, it's definitely not favorable to put money on. So I won't be doing that until price actually shows me or gives me a reason to do so, right? Because why would I risk money if there's no reason to do so and ruin my weekend, guys? Come on, like ruining the weekend purely because I wanted to trade so badly. It's not a good idea, right? So we have to wait and see if something shows up here. So let's see. So we have that 6 hour for value cap to the downside. Holiday expecting heavy chop. Yeah, I agree. I hope to see something form though. If nothing forms, yeah, we will call it short today. But maybe sometimes on holidays, guys, there's that random move, that one move that you want to get involved in, right? That one move that you can only see if you're behind the charts. And we're going to try and be those guys today. Maybe we are, maybe we're not, you know? You never know, Maybe we walk away, we end the stream, and the moment we end the stream, it happens. You know, it could be that case. It could be that that's going to happen. But I hope not. We got 61 people watching. For the guys that like the live stream, make sure to smash up the like and hit the notification bell so you're always notified when I go live. I go live around 6 o'clock, meaning that I go live around a half an hour ago, right? It's when I start my live streams. And then we're gonna look for the sauce, for the trades, for anything that looks favorable to get involved in. When we're looking at the VIX right now, for the guys that don't know, the VIX is the volatility index, is something I use to anti-correlate against the Nasdaq. It looks like the VIX is definitely selling off lower, right? And if this wants to continue to the downside, there is a big chance that the Nasdaq wants to continue to rise. Right now, we do have an inefficient top on the current hour. We might want to take that out beforehand and we give some lower prices to the Nasdaq before we actually go higher. This would be ideal, right? Why don't you make a New York live stream? The reason why is I just explained that, but I'm going to explain it to you again. The moment 9:30 opens up, right? You look at it from this perspective, right? The stock market is closed, right? It's closed until 9:30, until the New York session open. There's a lot of resting orders. People are putting in their orders, stuff like that. But the moment it opens up, there's multiple stocks being traded that have influence on the Nasdaq price, because that's how it's a calculation of all the companies combined. You see what I mean? So the moment that happened, there is a lot of people that have different ideologies on what market is going to do for a different stock for that current day. And it's all calculating into it. You see what I'm saying? So that's the big issue that I'm looking at. The moment 9:30 opens up, there's so many resting orders and so many people that are tuning into that have a completely different idea on what price is going to do. And then what's funny is that everything that happened during the day could just be ignored. You see what I'm saying? The moment 9:30 opens up. How do you switch to the RTA hours? So you have a button here in the bottom right on your trading view chart. And if you press on it, you can change it to the regular trading hours. I'm going to show you. So it's right here on the bottom, right? So if you click on the ETA, and then you click on the regular trading hours, you can switch it to the regular trading hours. And you'll also see the overnight gaps, right? So you'll see that anything now, if I do this, there's nothing to be traded, right? There's no trading going on. And you can see the gaps. These are the overnight gaps, the RTA gaps, right? And you can use this sometimes to look at, okay, can we trade it into and fill it in? Because you can see it here, for example. This is a clear example on how they actually filled in the gap, right? They filled in the gap, and then the actual price went the other way. So it's good to determine whether or not, you know, it's potentially a valid move for you to trade further based on structure of the previous cash session. I don't have that on my trading view. You should have that, bro. You should have that, but this is on futures, right? I'm looking at futures. US time. Yeah, I go live at 6 a.m. US time. This PA wants me to just trade NQ mini. It's a trigger. No, don't do it. Don't do it, my friend. Don't do it. Bowser, you don't want to get involved with minis at this current rate, bro. The price action is terrible at the moment, right? Let's not do that, bro. Let's not do that. US time, yeah. So I go live at 6 a.m. US time, right? So that's you can just calculate it here. You can put the New York chart on, or you just seek it up. What is 6 a.m. New York time, and then for your own, you know, for whatever time zone it is for you. But I'm pretty sure when you look at my videos on YouTube, when there's a video coming up, there's a notify me button. So you get notified when I go live, but you can see it precisely when, what time it is for you when I go live. We've got 81 people watching on a bank holiday, by the way, on a bank holiday. That's insane, guys. I hope you guys are doing all good. Let me know in the chat where you're from. If you're new to the live stream, let me know what you think about the live stream. If there's anything you think I could improve, let me know. And make sure to smash up the like if you've been here before and you enjoy the live streams. Even on a bank holiday when volume is not doing anything at the moment. When the volume is not doing anything at the moment. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a call on the phone. 1 sec. Okay, guys, I need to go downstairs for a second. I accidentally closed the door for someone that's working right now in the garden, so he can't leave. Give me, give me 1 second. Back in. He calls me. He's like, "Well, you don't trust me?" Like, what are you talking about? All right, let me see. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, for the guys that just tuned in, I'll be back in 1 minute. I need to go downstairs, and then I'll be back. All right, let's see. So we're back again. Let me go through the questions. Let's see. Bank 26k long and Q. Woo, bro, you're killing. Nice, well done. Nice trade. What are your thoughts about gold right now? I think it's untradeable at the moment. We do need to see some price discovery first, right? So I would like to see price to either go down first to go long, or to go higher to go short, depending on the DXY as well, right? So if we're looking at the dollar, it's more likely for the gold to go higher, but then we need to see dollar actually go higher first so I can look for shorts, or I can look for it to go lower. This means that for gold, we go down and we go up. So that's the idea for gold. Clayton, super, yes sir. Marco, welcome to the live stream, bro. Hope you're doing all right. Where is your trading system based on, ICT or someone else? So I learned a lot from ICT. I learned a lot from him. I've watched the 2016 mentorship a couple of times. I did not study anything afterwards. I am aware of some of his new concepts, but there's a lot of guys that I learned from. I can give you guys some of the channels that you can look at if you're interested in ICT content. So there's one guy that explains a lot of it in really simplistic manner. So this guy is TJR Trades, and you have a lot of videos, right? You can learn a lot from him. But the question is that you got to ask yourself, he's going to give you a lot of concepts, right? But in the end, you need to put something together yourself. But you can learn from him. And I also have a video on how I think the market is best to be traded in my head. And that's, let me see, I can share it if you guys want to see it. It's called Time Frame Synchronization. It's a video that I made myself, actually. And I talk about how I trade and how I look at the market, right? So let me see. Let me know if you guys want to see it, then I'll share it. What caused such a dump on gold last evening? Which dump? You mean this one? Are you talking about this dump? So I'll share you guys the video here in the chat where I'm talking about time frame synchronization. So I'm talking about this video, right? So this video is a video of me explaining time frame synchronization. Some of you guys actually enjoyed it, so I really appreciate that. Let me know in the comments, right, on the video what you think about it. But it's as far as I'm aware, it's a pretty good video where I explain everything regarding time frame synchronization. So how you actually, because what I've noticed in the trading space is a lot of people get stuck on the lower time frame. They're on the 1 minute time frame and they're trying to buy, sell. They do a lot of stuff, but they're not realizing that in the end, the most important thing that you do is that you trade in alignment with whatever the daily candle is telling you, right? So, or the market in general, because you can also look at the weekly candle, monthly candle, and if you use that in your favor and you analyze the market thinking, okay, how is the weekly candle being created right now at this current moment? Is it favorable for me to look for longs when I'm in the top of the weekly candle? Most likely it's not. You see what I'm saying? It's most likely it's not favorable. But you can look for ways, okay, how can I make it more favorable for me and use pullbacks, for example, to get involved and stuff like that. Look at the Nasdaq pushing higher insanely hard right now. Look at this. Look at this move. Well, yeah, it's not that major to be honest, but it's like it's only 23 points, but it's moving. It's moving. Make sure to smash up the likes. We got 100 people watching on a bank holiday. Guys, you guys are fantastic. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in with me, even though the market is so shitty right now. I really do appreciate you guys for tuning in. And yeah, I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate it a lot. Buyers are just being absorbed by sellers. Are they being absorbed? Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. After 4 p.m. our time. I don't see what you're talking about, bro. You're talking about this dump right here. Hi Thomas. Hi Thomas. Hi Thomas. Welcome to the live stream. You got a beautiful name there, bro. You got a beautiful name. You got a beautiful name. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing all right. Hopefully you like the live stream as this far for how long you've been here. Yeah, no, so the dump, when it comes to gold yesterday, you had a balanced price session, right? And we broke out of it during the news. It just went back into a balanced price session. And it went down, but yeah, I mean, it's just a correction of the move. It's not that drastic. Thomas meet with another Thomas. Yes. Second time. Nice. If you enjoy the live streams, Thomas, make sure to smash up the likes and hit the notification bell so you can always be around whenever I go live, my friend. Whenever I go live. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. Let's have a look here. Hey, bruh. Nice. How are you, my friend? Welcome to the live stream. What do you do? I trade. I trade live. I trade live. What, you mean what am I looking for? Is that what you're asking right now? for what I'm trading, or what's the question? Trump tweeted something. Yeah, I don't know. Could be the case. We could look on Truth Social here to see whether or not Trump has been tweeting something yesterday. But yeah, I don't know regarding the whole situation here when we're talking about the war and stuff like that. They are saying that they're making steady progress and stuff, and that the strait should be completely open. But then they're saying that it's only open for certain people or certain ships, and yeah, there's just a lot of stuff still going on, right? There's a lot of stuff still going on. They said they actually signed it already and should be over, but this is Thomas from Dubai. Nice. Thomas from Dubai. That's nice. You've been living in Dubai your entire life. You moved there. What's the reason you live in Dubai? Tax purposes, maybe. Tax purposes, maybe. Hello, Thomas from Uzbekistan. Nice. Welcome. 25 years. Oh, you've been living there for 25. That's a long time. That's a long time. You really enjoy Dubai. You really enjoy it if you've been living there for 25 years, for sure. Thomas, go to the monthly on gold, the gap, and how it tapped into it and been going up ever since. Let me have a look on that. Let me have a look on gold here, guys, while we're waiting for a potential setup here. Looking on the monthly. Let's see. Are you talking about this gap? You're talking about this gap right here? This one? Let's have a look on the weekly. Yeah, it's been going up ever since, yeah. Yeah, we were in extreme, right? So the question is this going to be the reversal play? So meaning that price is actually moving higher now to go lower again. Because the trend on gold clearly is still bearish, right, guys? The trend is clearly still bearish. The question is, how far can we go up, right? Is the question here. How far can we go up? What's your idea on gold? Right now, I'm in a little bit of a predicament, my friend. It's good that you're asking me that question. So the reason why is because I rather look for longs again on gold, but I do need to see DXY aligning with gold before I can do that. Meaning that I need to see DXY actually rising up, right? Rising up into the gap, showing some form of displacement to the downside. Meaning that in the current day, right, we're going to look for a little bit of a shorter pullback and then look for the longs again on gold. Yeah, that would be the ideal scenario here. So anything is around this level. Because let's say, for example, that DXY actually breaks out from the gap here, right? They actually managed to break higher. This means I will be looking for shorts on gold, right? So everything right now relies on the DXY coming back to that gap. That's for me the major thing I'm looking for. Hello, Mr. T. My friend, hi, it's me. Welcome to the live stream once again. Tuning in from Thailand. Nice. So yeah, that's the idea, my friend. I hope that made any sense to you. It's just I'm looking for the dollar to show us its hand, is what I would like to call it, right? You have when you're playing cards, you want a dealer to show its hand, right? You want a dealer to show its hand to see, okay, what is going on, and you want to visualize it. But we as traders, we're waiting for the dealer, for the market to show its hands to us. And then we have a higher chance of succession rate here, right? So instead of trying to, there's a good saying that I've learned, is instead of trying to trade the anticipation of the move, trade the move, right? Make sure to write that down, guys, right? Instead of trading the anticipation of the move, trade the move. Because what we do a lot as traders is we think, okay, I'm looking ahead in time now, right? Closing my eyes. I'm some guy. I have like powers, whatever. I'm looking into the future and I think this is gonna happen. So that's why I get involved. The problem is that if you get involved when the move happens, you're trading when the move is actually occurring. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, guys? Right? Instead of me saying, okay, I think price wants to go here somewhere, right? So I'm gonna enter short now, which makes no sense. If the move is actually occurring, let's say the move is occurring, then you jump on board, right? Then you try to get your entry model, because this means that you're trading when the trend is already occurring. Instead of trying to predict when the trend is going to change or the trend is going to continue, you just enter based on what the market is showing you, and you have your anticipation ready, but the anticipation doesn't do anything until the market is actually doing what it's supposed to do, right? I hope that makes sense to you guys. Isn't it a bank holiday in the US today? Yes, there is a bank holiday. Yes, there is a bank holiday. There is a bank holiday. It's clear, though, if you look at it, because the market's not really doing anything at the moment. But maybe, I've seen it before. I've seen it happen before. Even on bank holidays, sometimes there's a move that just comes out. It comes out and it moves insanely well. And we're going to try to get involved. We are those guys. We're going to try and get involved. But if it doesn't show itself, it is what it is. But if it does, we're going to try and get involved. But yeah, there is a bank holiday today. The market closes at 1 o'clock, right? So and on the NQ it closes at 12, but on gold it closes at 1, meaning that the day will continue on Monday, right? That's what you guys have to understand in this instance. Is the day it's gonna be a longer day, right? There's not gonna be a new open. It's just gonna continue trading. Let's go. We are those guys. You see what I'm saying? We are those guys, guys. Come on. The only way to do it is by believing that we are them, and we are. There's no way around it. All right, let's have a look here. So when we're looking at the VIX, we can see that the VIX is just continuing to trade to the downside at the moment. It's not showing us any like significant move back higher. So until that happens, the market is probably going to keep rising on the Nasdaq. The question is, how do we get involved, right? We can see now that we created an order block on a 5-minute time frame. We've been trying to break it over and over and over again, which is currently not happening. Let's say that we break above it. We create some clear structure to the upside here. We open a new hourly candle. We trade it down. We potentially could get involved, right? Because they're confirming for us that it might be a long continuation play if the VIX wants to continue down. Let's say the new hour opens up and we're closing with a wick. We're coming up. We're breaking through 6. We're looking for the shorts, right? So we're just going to wait and see what the market structure is going to tell us. It's that simple. How do you approach SMC? SMC has like 4 to 5 concepts. I think SMC, it's just in general, it's just smart money concepts, right? So what I use is I use order blocks, right? I use breaker blocks. I use everything, propulsion blocks, for value gaps, unicorn models. I know everything. I've studied it all. I know it all. But the most ideal setups that I'm looking for is understanding what the power of 3 is doing, right? So looking at the higher time frame scenario. So where are we in the higher time frame candle? And I use that into my bias, whether or not I want to look for shorts, longs, reversals, whatever. And I use time to determine what my targets and my way of entering the market, right? So meaning, for example, let's say we actually go higher, we go lower, we open a new hourly candle. I know that we're trading above the hourly candle. And this means for the hour itself, where the hour opened up, we're trading in premium, right? And I will be looking to short in the premium, use this as my stop, for example, and then trade it lower. Whenever we break through the open of the candle that I'm trading, I would then, for example, go through break even, and I could target 2 o'clock because 2 o'clock never got traded into again. And that's your 4 o'clock open. So that's how I use it, right? So I use time frame synchronization, basically. That's how I look at the market. And then I use SMC to just as an extra layer, you could say. Do you find a bias on the higher time frame, or to find or try to find a certain trade criteria? Yes, I always look at the higher time frame, right? So I always look at the higher time frame because that's important. Whenever we're trading on the 1 minute, we're also trading the higher time frame. Something I'm explaining in the video that I've shared before. I can share it with you guys again for the guys that just tuned in. But what I'm explaining in that video, it's unlisted, by the way. It's not on YouTube, so I have to share you the link. But the thing is with trading is that every single candle is interconnected with one another, right? We're not aware of it. If we're looking here, let's say we're only looking here on the 3 minute. We're like, okay, we're trading the 3 minute time frame, but we're not thinking about it that we're also trading a weekly candle, which has 5 days to actually print. Then we're trading a daily candle, which is a complete 24 hours for it to print it. You see what I'm saying? So you're trading, every candle is intercorrelated to one another. And once you're aware of this and you understand, okay, right now I'm trading in the top of the day, is it ideal for me to look for longs? The answer might be no. Like, the thing is, you're already trading for the day itself, where the day opened up, right? Where the day closed is, okay, they agreed that is the closure for the day, right? Now we're trading above, meaning we're trading in premium pricing. You guys understand what I'm saying? For the day itself, because the day itself opened lower. So right now we're trading in higher prices, meaning we're trading in premium. Premium in relationship to what, you could say, because if you look at the overall chart, you could say, yeah, we're always in premium. But in relation to the day where it opened, where they accepted what price was going to open, we're trading higher, meaning we're paying higher than its initial open price, right? Does that make sense to you guys? Let me know in the chat. So once you understand this and you have the idea of it, okay, what is going on now, right? So where am I going to look for entries? You could still say, okay, let's say price comes down and the trend is currently bullish, right? And the price comes down. A lot of people will continue to try and short this, right? This could also be a pullback just within the daily range. For example, a new 6 o'clock candle right here opens up, trades down, seeks to make some fair value. Then we get involved and we understand that 6 is the current candle we're trading. 6 is also 12 o'clock, by the way. It's the last 12 hours of the day. And we will be looking for 6 to come back, be traded into. You see what I'm saying? And that's how I look at it personally. That's how I determine whether or not I'm going to be entering. And that's how I look at the higher time frame. So that's really how I do it personally. Does that make sense, Hike? Does that make any sense? So when it comes to the video, some of you guys might want to see it. Let me know in the chat if you want to see it. But it's this video what I'm talking about. Let me see. This video what I'm talking about. So this is my own video, right? Where I'm talking about time frame synchronization. And I explain the basic principles, right? I'm really not talking about anything. It's not even the strategy. It's just a way on, okay, how can you get involved in the market at the right time, at the right areas? What's more favorable? So I've shared the video in the chat. We got 150 people watching, guys. Whoa, that's insane. I hope you guys are doing fantastically well. Sorry for my excitement, but it's insane. On a bank holiday, 150 people. That's just crazy to me. I really appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. Make sure to smash up the like if you like the stream as this far. I know it's a bank holiday, so we can expect a little bit less volume, a little bit less structure. But if you like it, you know, make sure to smash up the like. That would be highly appreciated. Using a 50 candle look back on the current time frame isn't enough for a bias. Higher time frame context matters, so using the 4-hour chart for a bias makes more sense than a lower time frame for entries. 100%. But that's the thing, right? So I'm looking at the higher time frame, but I'm trading one candle in understanding of the higher time frame. Does that make sense, Ike? That's how I use it personally, right? So right now, in this instance, we're looking, by the way, I'm also using the VIX, right? So I'm using a lot of other entities to determine my trades. Now I'm looking at the volatility index. The volatility index is simply an anti-correlator when it comes to the Nasdaq. Whenever the volatility index likes to go higher, the Nasdaq likes to fall down, stuff like that. I'm also using the DXY sometimes to determine whether or not this is valid, but I'm also using that for gold, right? When I'm trading the gold chart, for everyone who's still in the chart, in the chat, when I'm trading gold, I'm using the dollar to anti-correlate against gold, right? Because that's mostly positive or negatively correlated in this instance, right? So that's what I'm using. So whenever I'm looking at gold, for example, I will be looking at the dollar. Let's say I think that the dollar is going to continue to the downside from here. There's a big chance that gold likes to actually go up from here, right? And once they are correlated, I've noticed that the succession rate is way higher, at least for me personally, right? Don't take anything I say as factual, right? I'm just a regular guy, right? I don't have blue bot. I'm just a regular guy. I'm trying to make something happen in this market. The market is as uncertain as it can be. You don't see me like praising whenever I do something good because I don't know what's going to happen next. No one knows, but I'm trying to make the best out of it, right? I'm trying to make the best out of it. So let's see what's happening here now. So we could use a divergence of an SMT for dollar against gold. For sure, 100%. For sure, 100%. Here to watch you, no trades today. Break even from trading last week was not good. Hey, man, sometimes it's good to just relax, right? Sometimes it's good to just relax. I appreciate you for tuning in, actually. I really appreciate that. But yeah, sometimes not trading at all is also trading, right? It's a different type of trading, right? I've said it before. I've said it 100 times. I tell it to everyone that I speak to. It's like not every position is your position, right? If you're not taking a position, you can't lose anything either way, right? So sometimes it's a good idea to just step back for a moment, just relax. You know, we're all on the journey. We're all trying to make it work. Everyone's going through a rough patch from here to then and from now and then. No one is perfect. Anyone trying to claim they are, as some influencers, a lot of influencers out there are trying to make it seem like, you know, you are the one failing and they are succeeding, and that's what they're trying to sell you. Listen, believe me, trading is a really hard game, right? Trading is a really hard game. I made a lot of money in the beginning when I was young. I made a lot of money with my forex funds. If you guys ever heard of it before, I was trading a lot of forex back then. I put it into a live account and I blew it the next day, right? And it was a lot of money for me back then. It was like 12K US dollars, right? So trust me what I'm saying here, guys. Trust me what I'm saying here. Trading is the hardest game in the world, right? But it is something you could do if you manage to maneuver through all the struggles and you're really enjoying the game. You really want to understand what's going on. Everyone in here can be successful. I'm telling you this right now. Anyone here with an internet connection that can watch me looking at the charts and understands what I'm saying here, you can all be successful. I'm 100% certain of it. How are you doing, brother? I'm doing fantastic, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. I'm doing fantastic. How about you? Are you doing good as well? For real, part of the game, 100%, bro. It's part of the game, man. This is the thing is with trading. I know I'm just yapping a lot right now, but the market's not going anywhere anyways. The thing is with trading, guys, trading is the only game in the world where you could put in massive amounts of hours and lose money at the end of the day, right? You also have poker and stuff like that, but when we're comparing it to an actual job, right? Trading as a job is the only place where you can put in 8 hours of work, right? And hard work, dedication, and lose money at the end of the day. If you're working a 9 to 5 and you work 8 hours and you do everything you can, you're going to get paid, right? Trading is a whole different game. And we have to understand that. We have to understand that and be okay with it, right? That's part of trading, because once you understand that you fully master the skill of trading and you're trying to make good trades, money comes in naturally. It flows in, right? That's the beautiful thing about trading. It flows in naturally. All right, let's have a look here. For the guys that like this philosophy type approach or ideas, something you could read, and I think it's really beneficial for anyone in here, is this right here. It's an article. I've been showing this on stream a couple of times, but this is from Musashi, right? It's one of the greatest samurais to ever live. And he had 63 duels in his life, and he won all of them, right? And for the guys that don't know, samurais, when they have a duel, they fight until one of them is done, right? Until one of them is done. So you have to understand the dedication, the mastery of the art, right? That he was using. He was using 2 swords, and the amount of dedication and discipline it takes to do something like that. I think that in trading, we're going through a duel every single day, right? So once you understand and his way of his philosophy of life, I think it could really benefit you. If you think about it, for example, let's say we read one of them, right? So if you look at one of them, let's look at this one, right? Do not seek pleasure for its own sake, right? If you think about it for this instance, do not trade just to trade, right? Do not trade because you want to seek some pleasure of trading, right? Just anything that this guy says, you can change it into trading. And I'm going to share it with you guys here in the chat. Make sure to read it. Right, trust me when I say it's not a big article. It's not like a 300-page book, right? Read it, study it, understand it, and make it to your own. Because I'm telling you right now that I've learned so much from reading this article, and I read it weekly. I read it weekly, guys. I'm telling you, guys here in the chat that know me, I've been sending out precepts about this article to everyone, right? Because it's so good. It's so good. Let me see. What did you ask? Sorry, I didn't see it, bro. Miyamoto Musashi, yes. Let me through you dropping some source here. No problem, Eric. I'm just dropping what everyone already knows, right? I think everyone who's been trading instinctively already knows how it feels to be a trader, right? I'm not saying anything that is different. It's just I'm saying whatever it is, right? I'm new to your live stream. I love you did the broad market structure review and how you plan the trade. Thank you. You got this, Wilson. You got this, Wilson. I believe in you, Wilson. You got this, my friend. Welcome to the live stream. Sorry to ask you. I need to know. You don't need to answer. Are you working any primary job or are you only trading? I'm only trading, bro. I'm only trading. I'm not working a job. I'm only trading. I've said this before, though. I've said this yesterday. If there was a job that I could do while I'm also trading, why not? You see what I'm saying? But there is not really something like that, sadly, right? Unless you work night shifts or stuff like that, because trading happens for me in the middle of the day. So there's no way for me to work a job. But I do give personal boxing training, though. I've been fighting since I'm 14, and that is a source of income that makes me a decent amount of money, right? So that's also a way, also a source of income for me. And it makes me way more than I would make at a regular job, right? Because I can set my own prices. So I do make some money on the side, guys, of course. But I think anyone that's trading, I think it's a good advice, right? Non-financial advice, but I think it's good advice. Seek other sources of income while you're still trading. If you're already profitable, it's no problem to make more money in a different area than trading, right? It's always good to have money coming in. I'm asking since I'm working very long, but I'm pushing a lot of hours in trading, and I think I'm slowly getting there. Well, if you think it, I truly, I'm gonna say something again, right? It's also to answer to your question. Anyone who's in the chat right now, press a 1 in the chat if you're actively listening, and then you're willing to answer me a question. Press a 1 in the chat. Press a 1 in the chat. Press a 1 in the chat if you're actively listening right now. Oh, we got a lot of people actively listening. All right, all right. I'm gonna ask you a question. I need you to look at me, right? I need you to look at me and answer this honestly, right? If you would stop bullshitting around, right? If you would stop taking unnecessary trades, if you think about it, think back about the trades that you took during the last month, whatever. If you would stop messing around, would you end up being profitable? Yes or no? And for most people that have been trading for a longer period of time, the answer is yes. Most of you guys that are in the chat right now are already profitable. I was profitable for a really long time. The only reason I wasn't making more money is because I was messing about. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem, right? The problem is that we're trying to keep being active. We're trying to trade constantly. We're trying to make money. You know, well, even the market isn't showing to us that we should trade. You see what I mean? And that's the big problem, right? And also if you think about funded accounts, I don't know if there's a lot of funded traders in here, but how many times do you lose an account because you blow it by sizing too much? You're not blowing it because you're trading. You're blowing it because you're doing something you're not supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? And that's the big difference. That's what's making like the small edge between being break even or losing a little bit to being profitable. It's only that one decision of not fucking around. It's that simple, guys. It's that simple sometimes. That's really, you know, that's the one thing for me that made me more profitable, because there's multiple ways of being profitable, right? You can invest $2,000 and make 3,000 back if you're trading funded accounts, meaning you made $1,000. But the goal is, of course, for anyone here in the chat, is to spend $100 and to make 3,000, right? That's the goal, right? For anyone in the chat that's listening, that's the goal, right? The goal is not to invest 10,000 to make 11,000. The goal is to invest $1,000 and make 10,000 back. That's our goal as traders. The way is what we have to do is to keep a way or find a way in our mental space and in our trading plan to keep the cost as low as possible. And how do you do that? You don't trade just the trade. You trade whenever you think the market is favorable for you, and you avoid trading unnecessary trades, because that's the whole thing. What for a lot of people messes it up. Because the more trades you take, I'm going to give you a mathematical conclusion here, right? Let's say, who's still watching in the chat? Press a 1 in the chat if you're still watching. We got a lot of people watching, actually. 170 people. Hope you guys are doing all right. Hope you guys are doing all right. But if you're still watching, press a 1 in the chat. If you're actively listening, I'm going to give you guys a conclusion. I'm going to pick your brain a little bit. So, I'm going to give you an answer. If you're trading a 1 to 3 hour setup, right? You're trading a 1 to 3 hour setups. That's what you're looking for. But you're messing about, you're doing your things, whatever, and you lose 2 trades during the day that weren't your original plan. And then you win 3R, right? What does this tell you? What does this tell you, guys? You only made 1 hour on the day, which means if you do that, you need to have an 80% win rate. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Do you understand what I mean? Because you took 2 unnecessary trades, you reduced your risk to reward ratio by keeping what I call paper cuts, meaning you take paper cuts in the market by doing stuff you shouldn't do. You're reducing your mathematical edge by just taking unnecessary trades. Do you understand what I'm saying? So because you're entering and you're not following your plan, you're not following the plan that tells you that you have a 40% win rate, you're reducing your win rate, which means you have to increase it to be mathematically profitable. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Because of the random cost that you're making, and then at the end of the week, you're like, why is my account down? while I made more trades, because you're taking unnecessary positions that are reducing your win ratio over time. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, you need to pick your brain a little bit, right? But it's all about the cost to reward that you're making. Yeah, well, the thing is, like, losing money that's trading, guys, right? You can't not lose money. You have to put on money to make money. But the unnecessary money that you're putting on is the full reason on why your system is not profitable. Does that make sense? The unnecessary trades that you're taking is the whole reason your edge is not playing out. So you have to take trades that are in alignment with your edge and reduce the cost on the trades that are bullshit, right? The trades that you take just to trade, right? Because, for example, right now, if we look at the charts, is there anything here that's tradable? Like a really honest question, right? Is there anything here that's tradable? The answer is no. But I could have entered here, right? I could have entered here, could have lost some money, could have entered again, could have lost some money. And then eventually it breaks out. It breaks out eventually, right? It breaks out, gives me a clear entry on a new hour. I enter, I make a nice 2-hour return. But because I started trading here, my return to reward is already messed up for the day, right? So this means that I might only make 1 hour and I should have made 2.5 hour. But because I was just trading and messing about, I lost money. You see what I mean? Does that make sense, guys? So that you have to really look at it from a mathematical perspective. Okay, what is my passing rate on funded accounts? What is my passing rate to getting payouts, right? And if once you calculate this, your whole system, especially for the prop trading systems, it changes completely. And if you guys want to watch someone that explains this really, really well, I'm all about just, shouting other people out. I'm not like I'm not the best guru in the game or whatever. But this guy, GG Simons, he's probably the same age as me. But watch this guy on YouTube, guys. He's a quant. He actually studied financial quant, and he knows what he's talking about, right? Watch this guy. And for the guys that are trading props, and you'll learn a lot from his approach, because he just trades a lot. He takes a lot of positions, but he knows that mathematically his edge is secure, right? So it doesn't matter on how he trades the market, because he knows at the end the math adds up and he's making money, right? So someone you could watch and learn from is this guy. You can learn a lot from this guy, right? So make sure if you want to learn something about quant and mathematically being correct, watch that guy. Yeah, he takes 20 trades a day or more. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? But he knows that his edge plays out along the way. And he takes 20 trades, but he's taking them all on different accounts, right? So he's doing it that way. Yeah, it means you have space to make 2 mistakes and still be profitable and get more. It's just a reduced time, so you expose yourself to the market. Exactly. He takes. No, he takes. But let me know in the chat, does that make any sense for you guys? We got 107 people watching, which is crazy, by the way. Make sure to smash up the likes if you enjoyed the live stream. Make sure to smash up the like. I really appreciate it if you guys will do that for me. And hit the notification bell so you're always aware of when I go live on YouTube. It might be a good idea. Do not pursue the taste of good foods. No, but it is. You see what I'm like, guys? I'm telling you. This article, it really changed. I've been reading this for about a year now, and it really changed my life. Right? So it's for anything. So let's say we look at another precept. Oh yeah. Okay, this is a good one. Do not let yourself be guided by the feelings of lust or love. Right? And this means that, for example, in everyday life, if we're looking at everyday life, you should not let yourself be guided by something that is not good for you as a human being, right? So let's say you have a girlfriend or an ex-girlfriend that you really love, but she's bad for you, right? You make the decision to consciously step away because you're letting yourself be guided by the lust to her as being her, ex-girlfriend or whatever. And the same thing here in trading applies to, okay, I need to make money, right? The lust is that you need to make money. And you're letting yourself be guided by that, meaning that you're already stepping into the market with a complete plan to fail, actually, to be honest, right? So trust me, guys, when I say this, I'm going to send it one more time. Read it, guys. Read it, guys, because a life of pleasure, right? If you're chasing pleasures all along, right? You're not making any progressions in life. living a life of pleasure is living a life of hell. Trust me, I'm telling you right now. Right? You wanna go and become a trader. You wanna become a master trader, right? And money is something that is a natural side effect of being a good trader. It's something that comes with the skill of being a trader. Do you guys understand what I mean? If you're just here to just talk about, you just want to make money, and if that's the only goal, you want to make money, I want to make money, I want to make money, you're stepping into the market with a complete wrong mindset. You need to step into the market, think, okay, I want to make good trades. And you understand, once you understand it, and once you fully grasp what I'm telling you here, right, it takes a little bit of picking your brain, but once you understand it, you're looking for good trades, and you understand that money is a side effect of making good trades, right? Do you understand what I'm saying here? You see what I'm saying, right? It's a side effect. It's something that naturally happens when you're making good trades. And once you become a good trader and you really understand what the market does and you make good setups and stuff like that, money will find you, guys. Okay? I've been managing an account for someone else. It's not a small account. It's a live account, right? It's on forex. I've been managing an account for someone else. Because I'm a good trader, right? Okay, that sounds a bit egotistical. But because he thinks I'm a good trader, right? He was willing to invest money into me trading for him. And I take a percentage of whatever I'm making. Does that make sense? So once you're a good trader, money will find you. There's always people willing to invest money into you if you're a good trader. If you know how to financially win in the market, you will always find money. So become a good trader. Learn how to trade. Understand, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to make good trades. And eventually it's all gonna work out, right? Eventually it's all gonna work out, guys. I'm telling you, it's gonna be good. But yeah, so what's happening currently here on the Nasdaq? Nothing really, to be honest, right? If we're looking here on the VIX, we see that the VIX actually closed bearish on the hourly. We're trying to create a top wick right now. Maybe we can come seek this out, this inefficient price action above 6, and we can see the continuation play lower on the VIX, meaning that we can potentially look for longs on the Nasdaq. Right now, it's not looking too favorable to me, if I'm telling you right now. And let's say we're looking on gold. Gold is still ranging around. It's not really doing anything. Maybe it starts breaking out. If we're looking at the DXY actually started selling off, right? We never actually went to the gap above, but this could still happen. This could just be a short-term low to take out the high and then have the actual lows being set in. So it's a bit of a mixed predicament right now. It's not really doing anything. I appreciate your trade emotional speech. Yeah, no problem, I guess. I don't want to be a motivator at all. I just hope to give you guys, a bit of a realistic approach, like guide you out of the cave. Do you guys know about that? The Allegory of the Cave by Plato? If not, make sure to study it. But the problem is within the trading industry, there's a lot of influencers out there that are trying to make you perceive trading as some illusion. This is what trading is supposed to be like. And trading is flashy cars, nice watches. You're, on a yacht somewhere in the middle of the ocean, chilling. Bro, listen, you guys, we're in an hour and a half, right? I'm looking at the market. How can I trade if I'm not looking at the market, right? So the problem is that the whole space is giving some fake signals on what is actually being a trader. And that's not the case, guys, right? So I'm trying to just give you guys a little bit of a realistic understanding. Okay, trading is this, right? Trading is looking at the charts, making good decisions, not trying to flash your lifestyle to a lot of people. Just trading is trading, guys. I think it's an amazing game. I love the game. I love trading. I love it. Today, US session is closed, right? Yeah, so the US session will open, but there's just a bank holiday, right? So the banks are not open at the moment. Thanks for the link. We'll read it tonight. No problem. Let me know what you thought about it. Tomorrow or next week on the live streams, for the guys that are actually going to read the article that I send over, let me know next week what you think about the article. You have a whole weekend to read it. It's probably like 20 pages of an actual book. So read it and let me know what your favorite precept is, right? Let me know what your favorite precept is. Let's see. We got 180 people that are tuning in right now. Let me know where you guys are from. For the guys that just tuned in and I've never seen before, let me know where you're from. I'm from Amsterdam or close to Amsterdam. I've been living in the Netherlands my whole entire life, right? I'm 23 years old. I've been trading for 6 years, or maybe a little bit longer than 6 years. I made a bunch of money in crypto, being lucky, right? And I lost all my money in trading. Then I made some money in trading, and I lost it again. And now I've been really steady in getting more payouts and stuff, and keeping my costs low, because that's my overall ideology here, right? I want to keep the costs as low as possible. And yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're trading this account live. We're trying to pass it live. We're up $1,000. We had an account already up $1,700, but I accidentally traded the NQ instead of MNQ. So that account is no longer alive. That's no longer with us. But we're doing it again, right? We're trading it live. We're trying to pass it live and get a payout live. That would be the best thing here, guys, right? We're gonna do that live together. So that's what we're currently doing. Canada, welcome. We got a lot of other people also from Canada. I'm from Siberian, but I'm in Dubai for 5 years. Nice, man. Amazing. USA, land of... Okay, welcome from the USA. The United States in town. We got Washington. Welcome. Nepal, Ireland. Nice, guys. Nice. I was in Washington. It's really nice. Nigeria, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. We got a couple of guys from Nigeria in as well. Hope you guys are doing all right. All right, so let's have a look here. What's happening here on the VIX? Let's have a look on the VIX. So the VIX still has an inefficient candle on the top side. Yeah, and unless they take it out, we can't really look for anything here. But if they do manage to take it out and we go lower on the Nasdaq, so you can see that we're currently having a balanced price range, right? If we manage to break out of it, go lower. Oh, the drawing tool. We go lower, then we can look for the longs afterwards, right? So that's what I'm currently looking for. I'm in the Fivers weekly trading contest. I'm up 19% in 2 days. And in the 700 place, I don't understand maxing out leverage mostly wins and I'm getting destroyed. Yeah, I don't trade those competitions, my friend, because I think it is bad. The reason why they do it, I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. The reason why they do these competitions is to encourage bad habits into traders, right? You just have to understand why they do it, right? Because the people, they have the feeling, okay, if I can make 50K on this account, why can't I do it on a sim account, right? And they're gonna trade the same way. You see what I'm saying? But there's less emotions involved because there's no money up front. It's completely different. It's not real money. You know you're not gonna get any of it. It's like trading paper, but it encourages bad habits. And that's why I don't trade these competitions. Because if you look at the biggest hedge funds in the world, they're making 60 to 70% a year most of the time, right? So why would we, as just sitting alone right here in my room, why would it be reasonable for me to make 300% on an account? If you think about it, right? If you think about it. Let's see. Thomas, hello. How long have you been trading? May I ask? I've been trading for 6 years, my friend. 6 years. 6 years. I started trading when I was 17 years old. And I'm turning 24 this year. 24 years old. Anyone long in gold? I'm not in any setup at the moment on gold. I know what they're doing. Yeah. No, but it's. I mean, for a lot of people are not aware of it. You know what I mean? Like the reason why they do those competitions is to just encourage bad habits. It's just a simple way to get people, you know, run up that they want to make trades and risk heavy and stuff like that. You know, that's just why they do the competitions. Because what you're not gonna get any data out of it. Like the company itself, what is the data they want to withdraw or want to extract from people sizing the full account on a competition? That adds no value. I think it's word of mouth advertising engagement. Yeah, sure, 100%. Tom, how can you be a boxer with such a cheerful personality, bro? I was a really rough kid when I was younger, man. I was a really rough kid when I was younger. I wasn't like I was now today, right? I was a really rough kid. Made the wrong decisions when I was young, but going to the boxing school actually changed me to be a better human being, right? The discipline that was installed in me did a lot of good things for me. So yeah, I've been boxing for a really long time. And yeah, no, I see what you're saying. If you look at boxing, there's some people in boxing, you know, like they really have nothing to lose, right? So you need to always understand that once you step into the ring, you might be fighting someone that has nothing to lose, and they're going all in because that's what they have. They have boxing. You're still young. Yeah, there's still progress. Yes, we're working on it. We're working on becoming a better human being every single day, my friend. Every single day becoming a better human being. And I enjoy. I'm here with you guys. You know, we're looking at the markets together. The market's not really doing anything, but we're looking at the markets together and becoming better traders, becoming better individuals. That's why I love trading so much. I think trading, do you guys agree? Let me know in the chat. But I think trading is like one of the jobs in this world right now where you're truly elevating as a human being, because since I started trading, I started reading books, guys, right? I read over 50 books since I started trading, even more, right? I read a lot of books. I read a book, almost a book a week. And the only reason I do that is because I started trading. You see what I mean? Trading changed everything for me, right? Everything. I think it's a beautiful art. I think it's a beautiful art because you're evolving constantly. As a trader, you're adapting to the market. You're learning about new things. You understand the banking system. You understand that the whole world is built on debt. I would have never known that if I wasn't a trader, right? So there's a lot of stuff that I now know that I would never know if I wasn't a trader. So yeah. How much time do you trade per day? It depends. Mostly around 3 hours. Around 3 hours per day. Why, when the candle is rejected, they all day a bit harder? I mean, bots and algorithm. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Thomas, can you explain your edge to us? Yes, I would say. You want me to explain the way on how I trade the markets, right? I have a video that explains it completely. I will share it with you in the chat. Right here, right? So this video right here. It's an unlisted video on YouTube. Explains precisely on how I look at the market and what gives me my edge, right? So I'll send it over so you can look at that one. But it's mostly purely it's understanding how the candles are being created, right? So I understand, okay, we're trading in the top of the day. What's more ideally to look for? If the trend is bearish, am I looking for shorts? Okay, where I'm gonna look for shorts? I want to look for shorts when we're high up in the day, right? I don't want to look for shorts when we're in the bottom of the day. Those type of scenarios what I look for. And of course, the correlations aspect of looking at different assets to compare whether or not it's a valid move, right? So that's how I build an edge, basically. But it's more of a way of looking at the market, right? It's not a mathematical or systematic edge. It's not that I do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. I don't think personally that really works, right? Because trading in of itself is distortionary, right? So you can't really make a precise systematic approach. That's why you have short-term algorithms that do tick-to-tick based trading and stuff like that, or you have like the big banks or the big funds that make money over the spread in between orders. Like, there's not many successful systematic bots out there that manage to do, if A does this, then my enter is here, then my stop is there. Because there's so much other stuff coming into play, you can't really get that into an algorithm. I've noticed personally, right? I've been looking into that stuff as well, of course. I've looked at everything, guys. I've studied it all. For example, 900 is rejected and the bots try to hit it again. Why don't they look about support like in Bitcoin? That's a good question, bro. That's a good question. But then again, like I said, if we're looking at the Nasdaq, you're trading the 50 biggest tech companies, right? So there's a lot of fundamental news as well that's coming into play. If you're looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is a completely, itself is a complete entity. You see what I'm saying? Bitcoin is Bitcoin, same as gold is gold. The thing is with gold is we're using gold against the dollar, right? So that has a big influence on one another. But Bitcoin is just Bitcoin. Bitcoin is its own entity, and that's why people like it so much. But the whole it's the same. It's to a degree it's a belief system, guys, right? So that's just yeah, how it works basically. Can you tell me your opinion on trading with prop firms? I think it's one of the best decisions you can make, personally, right? But it is only a good decision if you manage to manage your emotions really well. Because if you think about it, prop firms is like one of the things that can give you an actual mathematical edge without putting a lot of risk on, right? Because if you're buying, let's say you buy 5 accounts, it costs you, what's cost you evals, maybe $250 depending on what firm you're using, right? So you have $250 of an investment. Then you also have an PA, so you have to actually make it into an actual funded account. It can cost you some money, but let's say it costs you a total of $1,000 to get 5 funded accounts, right? This means that if you're trading 50K accounts, you just bought yourself 10,000 of drawdown for $1,000, right? So you just 10x your money of what you can trade with for $1,000. That's how you need to look at it, right? So you just bought back 9,000 in drawdown. And then, of course, there are some challenges to it, but the challenges are not that hard because if you need to, let's say you can only make, let's say you have a consistency rule of 40%. That's not really a big problem, guys, right? You just have to look at it and you look at trading. Okay, I can make a 1 to 2 R on a continuous basis over a period of 2 months. I managed to make 2,000 per account, right? And you take home whatever. You take home 500 per account, depending on whatever they allow you to take out. You just made back $1,500 over your initial investment, and now you're in the clear, right? If you can keep the accounts rolling, you have free money coming in, and you're not having any risk on the table anymore. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I use prop firms, and I think prop firms are good. I also have my personal capital, of course. But I trade that completely differently, right? Completely differently. Like there's no way that I ever would risk what I would risk on prop firms in comparison to what I risk on my own account. There's no way. I would never do that. Are you also on X? No, I'm not on X, bro. I'm not on X. I avoid Twitter. I avoid all the politics and the trading politics on Twitter for its own sake, my friend. I'm not there to prove to anyone that I have any understanding of the market whatsoever. I know there's a lot of people that are fighting one another on Twitter. I don't want to be one of them. I really don't feel like it. I really don't feel like it. They're fighting one another. They're trying to tell someone else that they are worse and whatever. I think trading is infinite money, right? There's so much money in the world, and still people want to, fight with one another, make someone else look bad. Like I don't see the point of doing that at all. I don't see the point of doing that at all. Almost 200 on the stream. Yeah, we just had 200 stream. What the fuck? What's going on? We just had 200 people on the live stream. Make sure to smash up the like if you enjoy it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, X is full of large LARPers and ego comparing. Yeah. There's a lot of people that like to fight on Twitter. Yeah, on X. They like to fight each other. Can you explain your strategy, please? I have a video that's unlisted on YouTube. That's my ideology of the market. I will send it over here in the chat. Right here. I just sent it over to you. Is this video. It just simply explains time frame synchronization. It's more of a way of looking at the market than it's just a strategy itself. But you can have your own execution model. But the most important thing about a lot of people, what the problem is, what they have is that they execute their model at the wrong location in price, right? Or the wrong time of the day. And what I'm explaining in that video is that you can have your own edge and make it more sophisticated, more special if you enter at the right times, right? If you understand, okay, where am I in price? Not just based on the 1 minute chart or the 15-minute chart, but in the overall scenario. Where am I, right? What is the current daily candle forming? What am I looking at? Stuff like that. That's actually what I'm looking at mostly, Nigel. So you can take that, watch it. It's for free. It's it's unlisted on YouTube. So it's not on my YouTube channel. It's on an unlisted video. What is your thoughts about forex? I'm from Puerto Rico. I think forex is good. But it depends also what your broker, what you're trading with, right? So when I'm trading with Forex, I trade on the A-book broker. I'm not trading a B-book broker, right? You guys have to be aware of that. There's a lot of people out there that have a B-book broker and they get a live account that they use to provide you signals and all that type of stuff. And it's not really a live account, right? It's a B-book, so it's a demo, right? But the account shows that it's live, right? So yeah, you need to make sure that whenever you're trading Forex, you're trading with an A-book licensed broker, right? Meaning that they actually give you a live account to trade with instead of a B-book. Because then they're not making as much. Well, let's say you're trading on a live account, they're making commission money, right? But if they're trading, if let's say they put you on a B book, they're making money over the fact that they're taking away commission, right? That's how they're making money, because you invest actual money and they give you a B book broker account, because they assume, that's the thing, right? They assume you're gonna lose your money, because that's what a lot of people do in trading, right? They lose their money and they didn't put any risk on. So whenever you put it on a B book broker, if you put in $10,000 and you lose the money, they just take home $10,000 and they did not have to pay anything over it. But if you're on a live account, it's different, right? But if you're on a B book and you make a lot of money, it could be a problem for them, right? So you need to understand that. You need to make sure that you understand that. You need to make sure that you understand how that works. So just watch it. You know, there's a lot of videos about it, B book, A book brokers and stuff. There's a guy that I watched, is Anton Creel. I'm willing to show you guys. He's also was a really big trader. So there's a lot of legends in the game, guys, right? There's a lot of legends in the game. They're way better than me. So make sure, if you want to learn a lot about trading, you can go to this channel, the Institute of Trading. There's a lot of videos on here from Anton Creel. He's a really good trader, guys, right? So if you want to learn something, you can learn it from him. And yeah, he has a couple of good videos, right? Anton Creel, guys. Anton Creel. Let me see. Volatility is entering the markets. Yeah, slowly but steadily. I hope so. On gold, it's definitely moving higher for now. It's definitely moving higher, but I'm still not pleased with where we are in the location of price. I need to see them go lower before I can enter a long here. If we're looking at the DXY is moving higher, so it potentially could come back to that level we were initially looking for, to that gap, for DXY to go move lower again. And the volatility index is just selling off, right? It's just selling off. But NQ is not really doing anything. And ES is also selling off. So we have a negative correlation right now. You can see that we have a divergence, right? Meaning that ES is moving lower, but NQ is moving higher. Are you able to use Lucid in your country? I'm on a Lucid account right now, bro. I'm on a Lucid account right now. It's not just that. The B book, if you withdraw the profits, the money comes from a broker revenue. Yeah, that's it, man. That's insane, right? So what I've noticed also, when I still have B book brokers that I trade with, but who I also trust because I've been trading with them since the beginning. Whenever you withdraw money, they withdraw it as a refund. Right? So they say it's a refund. And I think that's how they do something with the cost or whatever. Right, or they do something for tax benefits. I don't know. So it's a shady world, guys. Right, the broker space and the trading space in general. Right, if you need to be really aware of where everything is located. Right, if you're trading with a broker that's based in Cayman Islands, you might have to consider whether or not it's a good decision. Right, so make sure that whenever you're looking at certain brokers, that they are within a state that actually gives you laws. Right. Like GDPR laws and stuff like that. So they're not using your privacy against you, or they're gonna mess with you and stuff, right? Make sure you make sure you do your research, guys. I have a good tip. Give me one sec. For anyone that's trading prop firms, when you're trading a prop firm, just go to their FAQ or go to their help center and copy their agreement, right? The agreement that they have for you. Put it into JetDBP and ask to explain everything in a simple format, so you precisely know what the rules of the firms are and what the hidden rules are. So you understand, okay, what am I trading with them? Are they going to deny my payouts and stuff like that, right? So you have a complete understanding of where you're buying your accounts from. I'm also not, I just want to avoid. That's why when there was some guys reaching out to me in my DMs asking, do you have any codes for any prop firms? And I'm avoiding shouting out props right now, because I want to just make sure that whenever I would shout a prop out, I'm shouting one out that's actually reliable and something you can actually trust, right? And I understand that the props, there's a fly here trying to fly around my face. Whenever I shout a prop out, I want to make sure it's reliable. And I understand also, I had a business and I've ran a business before, that the prop is a business, right? And they need to make money as well. So it's really important, that they for themselves adjust their rules accordingly. But I don't want to shout out some firm that if you buy the account with them and they then screw everyone over, right? I wouldn't be able to do that. I deal in good faith. You understand what I'm saying? So whenever you guys ask me, make sure to do your own research. I'm trading with Lucid right now. I also traded with Topstep. I haven't bought any Topstep accounts in the past couple of months. This might give you a sign. I don't think they're worth the money right now, right? Personally, I don't think they're worth the money. It's way too expensive for what you get in return, right? So Lucid, if you have a good discount code, it might be beneficial. Take Profit Trader, my Funded Futures, right? So you have a couple of guys out there that are a couple of guys that show some pretty good, decent prop firms, right? Right now I only have one Lucid account, bro. I just started with Lucid. The reason I started with Lucid is for the live streams. That's why I started with Lucid. I think it's a shame I only just found out about your channel. Thank you so much for the excellent tips. No problem, my friend. No problem. I hope you enjoy it. If you enjoy the live stream, make sure to smash up the like. I passed my 50K FTMO account. I'm curious, how long am I able to keep on receiving payouts? I assume they will eventually try to find a reason to get out of it and to make money, right? Well, FTMO is a really big firm, bro, right? FTMO is really big. So if you're not doing insane amounts of money, it doesn't really matter, right? Make sure you're not doing crazy stuff though, right? Not full porting the news and stuff and everything like it. Because eventually they can put you on actual live capital. They have their own broker, it's Wanda, right? So they bought Wanda, which is crazy, by the way. They bought it for 350 million. Just imagine how much the firms are making, guys. These prop firms, right? They are making so much money because they brought an entire broker for $350 million. You guys understand? You know how much money that is, right? Okay. Just saying, right? But they have their own broker. So whenever they put you on max allocation on FTMO and all that type of stuff, you can eventually also be transferred to live and to a better trading program. So they wouldn't mind it if you make money. Just don't go and do crazy stuff, right? Yeah, FTMO bought Wanda. Yes, FTMO bought Wanda. I think you said you take 2 to 3 hours per day. I look for that. It depends, because that's the thing, right? I have multiple models. So for 6, I would look for 2 or 3 models, right? 2 or 3 trades, I would say, because I can be wrong, right? You see what I mean? So I can be wrong, and when I'm wrong, it doesn't mean that I'm directionally speaking not right, but I might enter the wrong scenario, and then I enter later again, and maybe that takes me 2 to 3 trades to get involved, right? But it depends, because if I can't make a good return on my investment, there's no reason for me to take a position. But I trade at 6, I trade at 2 o'clock, right? So I have multiple models. 6 is a reversal to continuation play, and 2 o'clock for me is just a liquidity grab. So at 2 o'clock, I'm just looking for a near point of liquidity, and I try to trade in alignment with what 2 is doing. And then I also trade at, depends on how the market looks, at 10 o'clock. This is all New York time, by the way, right? At 10 o'clock. Because I like 10 o'clock, it's a complete reversal of the day, right? That's a New York open session, basically. And then the complete market likes to reverse, or it likes to do some crazy stuff. And I trade 12 o'clock, right? So 12 o'clock New York time. And that's just a continuation play most of the times from the original move that's already happening, right? So I've got some multiple time models that I'm looking at. I've already promised you guys to make a PDF. I will be working on that shortly, and I'll just make a good PDF for you guys, so you have a bit of an understanding of what I do and how I look at the market. It won't be some crazy 500-page PDF, right? It's just gonna be a simple PDF, but it might help you guys, right? And I'm willing to do that. It's not a problem. Bro, you're 600 sub. You're fast. Nice. Amazing. Yeah, we got 200 people on the live stream. Isn't that crazy? Man, I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. It's crazy. It's crazy. But does that make sense, Stretch? Let me know if that makes any sense to you. How do you determine a daily bias? So a daily bias is really tough. Like, I'm gonna give you guys, okay. The thing is with trading, guys, and I know this might be a shock to a lot of people, right? But the industry standard of having a daily bias and trying to predict where the price is going for a continuous base for multiple hours, it's a fallacy, right? It's not something that's real, right? This is what they're trying to tell everyone. Oh, I'm so good at daily bias and stuff like that, but not showing you the days that price goes in that direction and then completely reverses, right? It goes back up again, goes down again, right? The thing is with trading, you need to understand in the moment itself whether or not you're trying to trade a favorable move. And there are trades where price just goes in your direction. 3 days ago, we took a trade on gold, right? I took a trade on gold. I took it, let me see where it was. On the hourly perspective, I took it right here, right? This was my entry on gold. This was my entry. You see what I mean? And it just went, and I made a 10-hour return on this trade, okay? I made a 10-hour return on this trade. Normally, stuff like that doesn't happen, okay? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm not going to sit here telling you that I'm the best trader in the world and that my daily bias system is fantastic and I knew that the day was going to go higher and blah, blah, blah. What they're all trying to do, right? They're all trying to say that they know where the market is going. Nobody knows where the market is going, right? Nobody knows. They're just trying to say to you that if you have like the best daily bias system that you will do that, but it's not the case, right? The daily bias for me simply is, what is the daily candle trying to tell me right now at this current moment? I understand that the daily currently is bullish, right? I understand that the daily is currently bullish. And I'm looking at, okay, right now we're ranging up here. So the daily candle currently looks like this, right? The daily candle currently looks like this, right? This is the top wick, as you can see here on the left, and this is the bottom wick, right? This is the daily candle. If I'm looking for longs, I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, right? If I'm looking for longs, is this a favorable location to look for longs? Yes or no? Right? Yes or no? Some people might say yes because they're breakout traders, right? They might trade the breakout here. But for me personally, it's not favorable. We're in the top of the day. So if I wanted to place my stop somewhere, if I put it in here, they could simply sweep it out, right? They could simply sweep it out. The most ideal scenarios for longs would be in extremes, right? Meaning that if they come down all the way here, right? They come down all the way here and they create some structure to go higher. If I then put my stop here, I'm in the extreme of the candle, meaning that if they take this out, there's a really big chance they're going to take the daily low as well. You see what I mean? So that's the whole thing, right? When it comes to a daily bias, I'm just looking at, okay, what is the current day trying to tell me? Where are we in the current day? Right? Are we in a bullish sentiment? Are we in a bearish sentiment? Am I looking for longs, but we're trading below the daily open, which is the ideal scenario? Let's say we opened the day and we actually went down, and I look for longs here. That's the best scenario you could be in, right? Because you're looking to trade with the trend while it's trading against you, meaning that if you're right, everyone else is wrong. You see what I mean? So when you're right, everyone else is wrong, and those are the moves that move the furthest away most of the times, right? When everyone else is wrong, why? Because that's how it works in the futures market. It's basically everything that's being, it's what they call, it's like the short squeeze, like a squeeze in general, right? Something you could look up, right? So I will show you guys what I'm talking about. So the short squeeze meaning, right? Here you go, right? Short squeeze meaning. So what it actually means when a short squeeze happens is that orders are being refueled into the market, right? Meaning that when people are taking out their orders, these are being reused by buyers to push price higher. You see what I'm saying, guys? That's not, what I'm saying here is not a fallacy, it's not bullshit. That's just how the market works, right? That's a bit of an understanding that you can get. Meaning that if you get involved in the right areas of price, anything in the past right here is going to be reused to fuel the move higher, right? Those are like the best moves to get involved in. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So that's what you need to look into. Like, have a bit of an understanding of how that works. And this is in the futures market. But yeah, that's just how it works. Let me see what's happening here. So when it comes to then the daily bias, I will show you guys the video. You know, like I will share it again. Just look at the video that I shared here before, right? I'm telling you right now, I think it's probably a really good video to watch. At least that's the comments that I'm getting. Right? Make sure that if you like it, you know, let me know in the comment section. But that's how I look at it, and that's how I determine my bias for myself. Right? Let me read. You seem like a cool dude. I have to go, but enjoy your day. We'll tune into your next live stream. Lots to learn here. Listen to the words of this guy. He's giving free information. Very nice guy. Hey, bro, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you have a nice day. And yeah, enjoy the weekend that's upcoming, right? In a couple of hours from now. There's a lot of messages here. We got 240 people watching. Guys, I don't know what to say. I think you guys are fantastic. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the live stream. If you enjoy it, make sure to smash up the like and hit the notification bell. guys, I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say here, right? We've been live streaming for a bit already. I streamed in the past. For the guys that don't know me, I've been trading a long time. I've been trading 6 years, and I was live streaming with another guy a long time ago, right? I was chilling, chatting, whatever, and I was used to having people on stream. But now I'm doing it myself, and it's just crazy that so many people tune in. I love it, man. You guys are fantastic. You guys are fantastic. You guys are fantastic. But let me have a look here, okay? Dealer hedging is trackable, but you are chasing the data. Yes. Yes, thank you. I'm looking at the time-based setup, how to possibly trade, just tracking it for now. Nice. Yo, Thomas, 200 people. What? Yeah, I don't know. It's nice. It's nice. Just say long or short. Just doke. Yeah, no. Right now, nah, nothing for me personally, right? That's nothing for me personally. Yeah, the dealers are hedged on the option side. Yeah, so for the guys that don't know, by the way, there's a couple of guys that I think you should definitely watch. I'm here all about giving you guys the best channels to watch, because I don't know everything. But that's the thing, right? I think you should go into like a place where people have a lot more information than you, and you learn from them. You take the information, you make it your own, and stuff like that, right? So go to the best guys in the game. You could go to Fabio Valentini, right? Learn from this guy. He talks about everything regarding order flow or how the market moves, and it gives you a real explanation of auction market theory, right? I also studied auction market theory, but it's good to actually study it from him. And he is talking about the option side of things, right? And about the option market. Guys, the whole market, most of the market is controlled by options, so by put options, right? And it's good to understand that, because a lot of the big players are hedging themselves in the market, meaning that whenever they want to move price higher, it could be that they're selling price lower, right? They're hedging, meaning that let's say they shorted it here, right? Price is going to the downside. People are trying to buy up the short selling, right? And they come back above it and they reuse the orders to go higher, right? That's how the market operates. That's how they use it. So that's why when you see, for example, let's say we look at this, right? Let's say here, right? So you have the buying to the upside. It could be that there's short selling options being put here that they come back to together, and then short actually happens. You see what I mean? So you have to understand and give a bit of an understanding here. Okay, anything that is support and resistance is in this instance the same scenario here, right? So whenever something turns into support or into resistance, and you're like, why did they come back, and how is it being supported? Well, it's because they're hedging themselves, right? It's because they're hedging themselves. It's because they're hedging themselves. That's the whole reason. Thank you. Let me know. Lorenzo switched to streaming Asian session lately. Yeah, I've been aware. Give me 1 second. I'm not gonna lie, not glazing, but he's a good dude and a very nice at trading. At least he's real when he's losing, unlike any others. That's my opinion. Yeah, bro, the thing is, you know what the thing is with trading? I'm really self-aware of the fact, I'm gonna just say to you guys, right? I'm aware of the fact that in trading, a lot of people lose money, right? But not, oh, look at this move. Look at this. Look at this, what's happening here? So we're selling off on the VIX. Look at this. We're selling off on the VIX and the Nasdaq is pushing higher. All right, let's look at what's going to happen here. If they're going to break out, it's going to be a failed auction to the downside. But no trade so far, Remy. No trade so far. It's a bit of a tough market, bro. The market's not really moving anywhere at the moment. But what would I want to say? I forgot what I wanted to say now. Oh yeah, when it comes to trading, right? So whenever I lose money, you can look back into the live stream. I've lost plenty of trades. The thing is, I don't praise it when I'm winning, because I'm not someone that can tell you that the market is going to go up or down. I have my technical analysis and stuff. Why would I praise myself when I'm winning money? I'm not, you know, I don't call myself a loser when I'm losing money, because I know that I have a 50%-ish win rate, right? Meaning that I lose 50% of the time. That's just what trading is about. So whenever I lose money, I just make sure that I don't lose a lot of money, and I can survive another trade, right? It's just that simple. That's what trading is about, guys. How many trades do you usually do? Yeah, it depends. It really depends. It's like most of the times it's 2 or 3, right? Max. But I also had some streams that I used some of the profits that I had, and I tried to make a little bit more trades. But those are mostly, you know, I'm trying to trade the actively trading the market, which is not, I wouldn't say it's a favorable thing to do. I just closed my buy. Sonny, well played, my friend. Oh, you closed your buy before the pop. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Let's see. Bro, new heat, very informative. Thanks. No problem, my friend. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe you can use some out of it. I've been trading for 5 years and I wanted to start my own trading channel. What is your honest recommendation for starting? What did you learn that would have benefited you starting? When it comes to making a trading channel, yeah, that's a good question, bro. I think mostly when it comes to like, I'm just doing me. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to impersonate anyone. I'm not trying to make everything seem so fabulous or whatever. I'm just doing me, you know? And I think that's my best advice. Just be you, bro. Like, just be you. That's my best advice. You just do your thing. You just do whatever, and you go live maybe. Like I'm live streaming right now, and you're just honest, you know? You give away your information. You tell, okay, this is how I look at the market, and you just do you, bro. You know, you just do you. Who's still actively listening now? We got 250 people watching, which is insane. Let me know in the chat and drop a 1 in the chat if you're actively listening right now. That's insane, by the way. It's actually insane. I don't know what to say. I love it, bro. It's in my heart. That's all I wanted to hear. Thanks, bro. No problem, man. I think that's the thing is with content or whatever. If you want to be a trader or you want to make your own trading community, I think you should just do you. You know, like do whatever your heart desires. And there's for sure people that would enjoy whatever you're making, bro. Whatever you're making, you know. It's just how it is. That's trading, man. Look at you guys. You guys are still here. That's insane. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Where are you guys from, by the way? We had a lot of mixed people here. We had people from South Korea as well tuning in, from the USA, from Norway, Thailand, everywhere in the world. I'm from Amsterdam, right? So you know how special it is for the fact that I can stream now live on YouTube. And you guys are all over the planet watching me. We're watching the same chart, trying to make something happen here. You know how amazing that is? You know how amazing that is? I think it's amazing, guys. I think it's amazing. What a beautiful world we live in. What a beautiful world we live in. South Africa, Puerto Rico, UK, the World Cup city, Florida. Welcome. My Steph mom is from Florida. Zimbabwe, nice. Sydney, Australia. I got a really good friend of mine, a mentor in my life from Australia. He's from Melbourne. Portugal, nice. Welcome, I remember. Syria, welcome. Sweden and Syria, nice. Hi, neighbor. Hi. I know you're from Belgium, right? Lithuania. Belgium, yeah. So Belgium, yeah. Lekker. All right, let's see. So yeah, we're breaking out heavily right now here, guys. The question is this going to be the actual continuation play higher? Or are we going to get a potential short setup playing out here soon? What I'm looking, like I said before, right? So we just rated the previous 12-hour high. So you guys can see, we just rated the previous 12-hour high. If they want to show us something that looks magnificent here for the shorts, we could potentially take that. But we do have to wait for this hour to close, which is a bit of a tough one. But maybe depending on how far they actually reach higher, it might be a different scenario here. But we do not have a bottom wick here, right? We also have to look at the VIX, because the VIX right now is telling us shorting, right? It's shorting heavily. And if the VIX is going down and Nasdaq is going up, we need the VIX to first turn around before we can actually look for any setups to the downside on the Nasdaq. Are you streaming regularly or just whenever? I try to live stream every single day around 12 o'clock for me. So that's 6 o'clock in the morning for the New York session. 6 o'clock in the morning in the New York session. So that's 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago. That's when I go live. I try to go live every single day. Today, of course, is a bank holiday, so I expected something to happen here. The market is moving. It's not really clean moving though, but it is moving right now, as you guys can see. But it's yeah, it's not that fantastic at the moment. But maybe it's gonna give us something here soon. Good afternoon, Thomas. Frequency. Good afternoon, my friend. Are you watching the World Cup? No, I don't, guys. I've watched, of course, whenever the Netherlands actually played. I know we lost against Morocco, and that's what I know. I haven't watched it because it was 3 a.m. in the morning. But I'm more a fighting type of guy, right? So I've been fighting since I was 14, and I enjoy watching that more. But I can understand if someone is a footballer that they wouldn't see the value of watching other guys fighting in the ring and stuff. But yeah. What do you think about gold? So right now when it comes to gold, I don't think anything of it. I gotta be honest with you. I would be looking for longs on gold if we go lower, right? If we manage to go lower and the dollar actually manages to push higher, I'll be willing to look for longs on gold. But until then, I don't have any side on gold whatsoever. Which strategy do you use? So there's a video. I shared it a couple of times. I'll share it again. This is my ideology when it comes to the market. When I try to trade the market here, I use this playbook in my head. So I'll share it here. It's a free video. It's unlisted though, so it's not on YouTube. So the only way to get access to the video is by clicking the link. Today the USA is not trading. No, it's not trading. No, you're right. It's a bank holiday. That's why the market's a bit more rough, right? It's a bit more rough. But hopefully they're going to give us something here soon. We potentially could look for the reversal play. But we do need to see the VIX aligning with us here if we want to do something like that. The good thing about the VIX is that we still have this inefficient top right here. So potentially they want to take that out. And if that's the case, yeah, maybe we can get involved here in a little short setup, right? But we do need to see the VIX actually providing it to us. And it's a bit of a dangerous game we're trying to play here, right? So if we do get into a position, guys, make sure to manage your risk precisely because the market is a bit tough today. Got anything from the market? No, right now we did not take anything home yet, sadly. Would be nice. That's why our market is so slow. Yes, exactly. That's the whole reason the market is so slow. We got 270. I don't even know what to say. We got 270 people watching. If you guys like the live stream, make sure to smash up the like and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified for when I go live again on YouTube. Probably next week again, right? So hit the notification bell so you're always aware of when I go live. So if the VIX goes up, then the NQ should go down. Yeah, well, in the most positive correlating, in the sense that they are actually correlating with one another, that's correct. So when the VIX goes down, the Nasdaq goes up. When the VIX goes up, the Nasdaq goes down, right? And I use the VIX as like an extra confirmation. It's like, you could say hybrid trading or whatever, right? But I'm using it to confirm my ideology when it comes to the Nasdaq. And same scenario here, when I'm looking at gold, I'm using the dollar to contradict my bias. Okay, what is the dollar doing? Is the dollar moving higher or lower? Because they are correlating assets, right? They're both being used to determine money. So yeah, in that instance, I'm using those to correlate one another, right? And when it comes to the NQ, I'm using the VIX, the VOX. You can find it on TradingView. It's just this, right? You can find it on TradingView. No, this is the VOX, but it's the same thing. But I'm using this one because it moves way cleaner than the VIX, right? The VIX doesn't move that clean, so I'm using the VOX, but it's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same comparison here. The VIX is based on calls and puts. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I'm using the VOX because I like it more. It's more clean for me personally. But it comes down to the same stuff basically. When I'm comparing both, You can see that they are moving similar, right? But the Volks is way more. It also includes the overnight price action, basically, right? So a bit more sophisticated in this instance, gives you a little bit more of a clearer market. I've been looking at both to compare, right? And I've noticed that the Volks does the same job, but it's more cleaning to look at. So that's why I use it. Let's see. So you can see it here, right? When you look at the volatility for the S&P and you look at the VIX or the Volks, it's doing the same stuff, basically. What do you think about the, let me see. Hi, Thomas. What do you think about on the market move? It comes up to 29,960 and then drops down to 29,760 about. Yeah, maybe. Could be something like that. It could be that we're going to move higher first, indeed. And then we're going to look for potential short opportunities here. When we're looking at the current trading week, right? We're trading above, right? We're trading above. We're coming back into this POI where the last buying pressure happened before the sell move. Potentially, when we tap into it, we might see some form of rejection and we could go lower. It's definitely interesting, though. We're still in all-time high territories, guys, right? So we're still in all-time high territories. The question is, are we going to move higher from here or are we going to move down lower from here? We also have the SpaceX that just launched that IPO. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, right? There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. I still think, personally, that we're going to have a major sell-off coming soon, right? But I might be wrong. You never know. You never know. Damn, it reversed the whole yesterday's PA. Yeah, no, it's a tough market to trade for sure. It's a really tough market to trade right now. That's for sure. There's nothing to say about that. It's a tough market, my friend. It's a really tough market at the moment. Let's have a look here. Yeah, correct. Yeah, it's gonna be joining soon. Yeah, I think it's gonna be really interesting because if you look at it, so I have a couple of channels that I look at, guys, to look at the fundamental reasoning of whatever the market is doing. Right? There's a couple of guys that I watch, and this is one of them. I'll show you guys. This guy, right, is a guy that I watch as well. I watch some of his videos that I find interesting, and I think it's important to watch and have an understanding of the fundamental reasoning of what's going on, right? So if you want to understand the bond market is the driver of the economy, right? So it's good to understand the bonds. But just have a clear understanding of, okay, what is going on in the market, right? A lot of people want to focus on only the technical side of things, but I think just having a fundamental understanding of what's going on, it can give you an edge, right? Because it sometimes takes away 50% of the trades that you're taking. Let's say something is really looking bearish when it comes to the fundamental reasoning of the market. You might not want to look for longs and trade against it and trade it with the actual fundamental reasoning. I'll share the link here in the chat so you can look at it if you guys find it interesting. You can look at it at the channel if you guys find it interesting. I think it's a really good channel to look at, guys. I think it's a really good channel to look at. He also shows all the data, right? So he's also showing you the files and everything. He's not just saying stuff just to say it. He actually shows you the information. It's July 4th, so NQ will reach 30K plus fireworks. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if this is going to happen. Let's see if it's going to happen. If it's going to come all the way back to 30K. It could definitely happen, for sure. For sure. If the VIX is going to continue, or the Volks, then this isn't going to continue to sell off. Yeah. Then it might actually continue. We got 280 people watching. Let me know where you guys are all from. Let me know in the chat, where are you guys from? I would like to know. It's so interesting to me that you guys are all tuning in all over the world, watching me look at the market. I think it's amazing. I hope you guys are all doing good though. I'm doing fantastically well for sure. All right, we're coming to seek that inefficient price action now. So we're trying to flip this hourly. The question is whether or not this is the level to look for sells. We're still in this breaker, so we are in a breaker level for the guys that trade ICT. So we are in a breaker level right now. And we just created a breaker block here as well by sweeping that high. right here. We just made price efficient, as you guys can see. Let's have a look here though. Maybe if they manage to close this on the 5-minute below, there is a potential entry here. And then we could trade it back to towards 6 o'clock low. But it depends on what the VIX is going to do here, whether or not they want to move higher or not. So we're going to see if this 5-minute closes below. And if they actually give us a confirmation here, we would be opening a new 15-minute candle as well. And we could potentially try to get involved here on the short, back towards 6 o'clock here, guys. And then we use the stop here, and we would trade it back towards 6 low. Can you explain a breaker block? So a breaker block simply means is that they create a high, low, they take the high, so they sweep the liquidity, and they change it below again, and they come back into the low that actually broke the high. Right? It's a head and shoulders formation, but it's just a head and shoulders. Okay, I guess we're moving instantly. Let's see. What a move down, guys. This is pretty drastic move here. We got 2 minutes until the closure. Potentially they still want to give it to us, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Let's see how they close. The most important thing about this is the closure. I'm not in any trades as of yet, guys. If I'm in a trade, you'll see it here on the right hand side of the screen. Make sure, by the way, to manage your risk. If you're gonna get involved in this setup, make sure to manage your risk. Right? It's a bank holiday. The market's moving a little bit more rough today. Did that make sense, Annie, by the way, about the explanation of the breaker block? And this is in both scenarios, right? So whenever we take a low and if we set a high, take a low, take the high again, you also have a breaker block forming in that instance. But it's not that hard. It's once you see it, once you visualize it a couple of times for yourself, you eventually will see it, and you'll easily see whatever a breaker block is. For anyone that's trying to learn about trading, I think one of the best advice I could give you on learning how to trade would be to make price action logs, meaning that you look at a naked chart, you look at the chart when it's already printed, and you start marking stuff out, you save it, and you'll overlook it a couple of times, right? Because this means that you're looking at the market when it's already done, and you can actually visualize it, and eventually you'll see it form before it actually forms, right? That's a good good idea here, right? All right, let's have a look. We have 10 seconds until the closure. Yeah, I do like it. All right, so my entry would be back on 2 o'clock on the open here. So let's see if they want to come back up for us. So we have an entry set. If they want to give us a top wick, we will be looking to look for the shorts here. And the target is simply going to be the current 6-hour low, and potentially lower if they want to do that. We're going to see what happens here. We also got a 2 o'clock low somewhere around here. Yeah, so we also have 2 o'clock low here. So there is a short setup set. Make sure to manage your risk, guys, right? We're still trending higher. The VIX is giving us some potential of moving higher here. So that's good. I still have an inefficient high set above us, which could potentially be a target here, right? So we have an inefficient high on the current hour. If the VIX wants to come and reach up to that, the Nasdaq could potentially sell lower. Let's say the Nasdaq now sells off and they actually mitigate 6 o'clock, right? They mitigate 6. The VIX already moves higher. The trade would be invalidated, because if they come back to 6 o'clock and they can't break it, there's a big chance they want to reach higher, right? We got 330 people watching, by the way. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you guys are doing all right. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if you're trading today. We got a bank holiday today. Make sure to manage your risk correctly. Don't make any foolish decisions if you don't want to be involved today. So we can see that gold's also still selling off here. The DXY is probably, yeah, it's rising. So maybe if this doesn't work out, who knows? You never know. We still have a potential trade coming also on gold if they want to actually start selling it lower. But it also depends how late it will be in the day, because the market is going to close earlier today. There is no 9:30 today, right? Well, there is 9:30, but the bank is closed. There is 9:30, but the bank is closed. Let's see. So the reason for entry is simple, guys. We swept liquidity, right? We swept liquidity. We created a breaker block. They could still come back into the breaker as well. But I'm trying to see if they want to tap back into 8 o'clock and respect 8 o'clock, right? The 8 o'clock open, and then sell it off lower, right? That's the reasoning for entry. What are you looking for in MNQ? I'm looking for a short here now. So I'm looking for a short with the understanding that the VIX potentially could reach higher. And this is it's a correlation against the Nasdaq, basically. So if this wants to move higher, there's a chance that the Nasdaq wants to move lower, right? And also with the dollar rising, this is also backing up our potential setup here. So that's what we're currently looking for. That's what we're currently looking for. Let's see what's going to happen here, though. We got a new 15-minute candle that just opened up. So this one is trading up as well. You do have a support, a resistance level, you could say. Are you in this trade? No, I'm looking to enter it here. So there's a sell limit. You can see it here on the right. There is a sell limit set just below the hourly, the current hourly open. What about inversion for value gaps? You don't use them? Yeah, well, I use them. But yeah, you have an inversion gap right now here, right? Yeah, I could have also entered from the inversion gap, but I wanted to enter with the hourly open. Yeah, maybe they went back into the inversion gap and selling it off now. That would be kind of sad if that's the case. But yeah, I'm looking for the hourly open to retest it and then sell it off. But no, I'm not in this trade as of yet. They just went back into the inversion gap. For the guys that don't know what an inversion gap is, this means that, yeah, who knows what a fair value gap is? Let me know in the chat. But a fair value gap simply means that there is a gap in between. So you have a candle that has a high formed, right? So you form a high, right? Like I can just show it here, actually, to be honest, right? You have a high formed, a low formed, a high formed, a low formed, and then they don't trade back into it, right? And they break higher. You have a fair value gap being created, right? It's untraded price action. Price never came back into it. And now you can see that we actually closed instantly through it, and they reach back into it, making it efficient again. And now they're selling it off. And there's a big chance that they're not going to give us the entry. Now, because they actually traded back into the inversion for value gap instead of trading back into the hourly open. The big problem would be is that if I enter it here, you can see that the risk to reward ratio here is being reduced by almost like it went from a 2R trade, right, to a 1.3R trade. So I can't do that, you see? So I need to enter, or I need to enter here but increase my target. But by increasing my target, yeah, I'm increasing my target, right? They could just sweep the low and then go higher. So that's why I need to enter. I need to enter from up here. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if that makes sense. I'm just, I need to be mathematically correct. It's the same thing that happened to us yesterday, sadly. Yesterday we were trying to long it at 6. And we were right on the bias. We had our entry set right here, right? We had our entry set right here. Stop below the low. And they just respected this gap and they went all the way up. It's the same thing that happened yesterday, sadly. But maybe they're going to give it to us. How many micros are you trading? Right now I'm trading 2 micros. 2 micros. So this will be probably, what is it? $80 risk for $160 return. Are you profitable? Yes. Well, yes. I've been profitable in payouts, if that's what you're asking. I've been making payouts. No, I also trade my own personal account. I also trade my personal account. And I also manage an account for someone else. So I also trade for someone else because in the future I would like to make my own fund. That's my goal, right? That would be amazing if I could do something like that. Exactly, Mohammed. Yeah, it's too big of a risk for me to. Well, it's not. In the end, I'm looking for the shorts, right? So whether I enter it here or I enter it here, I'm still looking for shorts. But the problem is, if I'm entering it here, I need to increase my target, right? And my target now is based on the sweep of the current 6-hour low, which is something that could happen, right? I've seen it happen over and over again. The further my target goes, the less likely it's bound to happen, right? I'm not saying it can't happen, but we have to understand the market is still moving higher, right? Can I also know why you trade pre-New York? I actually like trading pre-New York way more than trading New York session. The big reason for it is the moment that New York session opens up, the stock market opens up as well, and there's a lot of indecisive people that make different decisions, and that's why you can see during the New York session that markets like to go up, down, up, down. So it's directionally speaking, often it's less precise, right? And when around this hour, for me personally, it is better. By fund, you mean hedge fund? Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Thomas, are we supporting ICT here? I have nothing against people that trade ICT. I also trade ICT. I have nothing against it. I truly, my guys, everyone here in the chat, trade however you want to trade. If you make money, make your money, right? Who am I? Like, that's why I avoid Twitter and all that type of stuff, because people are all fighting each other, man. Like, everyone knows it better than someone else. And in the end, does it really matter, right? Does it really matter? It doesn't. If you can make money, you make money, man. Like, do your thing, man. Just trade and do whatever works. Yeah, I'm looking. No, I'm not in the short. I'm looking to get it filled in the short. Yeah, yeah, 5:30. Yeah. But I avoid trading it. Like, it's not that I don't trade New York. I do trade the 10 o'clock candle, right? But it's not. I don't trade it that often. I've been trading 6 o'clock way more often these days. If it doesn't come up to the 8 o'clock, 5-minute change the state of delivery would be the next confirmation. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, let's say they actually managed to close lower. We might have to wait for the new hour, right? And then we wait for the new hour. Because let's say the new hour, let's say they managed to close this below on the hour. This is a really big sign that they might want to go the other way. Oh, something we have to be aware of, guys. I just noticed. Look at this. You guys remember what I said about the inefficient price action on the VIX? You see what happened? They came back to 6 o'clock, then tapped it out. So what I have to do now, sadly, I have to take away the sell limit, right? And I have to wait and see whether or not they're going to respect it if they come back up. Because this is precisely what I've been telling you guys, right? You need to look at the comparison asset. The reason why we wanted to take this trade initially to begin with is the fact that we rated liquidity, seek lower, and the VIX is giving us a clear target on the hourly time frame with inefficient candle to the upside, right? Now there's an inefficient candle to the downside, meaning that I need to wait, because if they come down again, they could just ram all the way through this level and just go. All right, so there's no more sell limit set. I'm waiting to see what happens if they come back into the hourly open. If they respect it, I'm still willing to take another position, of course, right? But I need to look at what the VIX is telling me, because the VIX already rammed through our target. This was the reason why we wanted to take the trade initially. So make sure you manage your trade correctly, guys. If you still want to take this, be my guest. Just make sure you are aware of the fact that the VIX is pushing higher again. And this might actually start selling lower from here, right? Because if you look at the 6-hour candle, we just put a top wick on it, right? Yeah, and if you look at the three, it's a bit of a mixed situation. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. Whether or not they're gonna respect this level is the question when we tap into it, right? If they tap into it and they show me some displacement, I can still enter, and I use whatever the stop is gonna be based on the high that they set in, right? So it's just gonna wait now. Wait and see. There's no more sell limit set, guys. I'm just letting you know. Can you show some example of the pre-New York setup since your limit order is away from executing? Yeah. So yesterday was a clear example, bro. So let's look at yesterday. Let's look at yesterday's session here. Let's see. Yeah, it's good. So maybe what I can do is I will take the live stream from yesterday, bro. Give me 1 second, okay? I'm gonna show you guys what we did yesterday, but it's the same scenario here, right? So you can see that price is ranging to the downside. We actually have a good wick to the upside. We come back into 50%. We also came precisely back into 3 o'clock, right? This is your London session open. So you can see here, these are the levels that I use also on the chart right now. This is 3 o'clock, right? That's your London session open. You see how they tapped it precisely? And let me know in the chat if you guys can see it. You can see precisely how they tapped it, right? Oh, I'm showing the wrong screen. So you can see precisely how they tapped it. This is from yesterday, right? They tapped 3 o'clock precisely. That's your London open. So they gathered orders. This is your 6 o'clock open right here, right? So 6 was trading below. They tapped into 3 o'clock, right? Price moved higher. Price came back into this inefficiency and started moving up. I had my I had my entry set right here with my stop here, targeting back first of all back to this high, right? That's your closest draw on liquidity. But the market just went nuts and it went all the way back up to all the low resistance liquidity racing above, right? But this was the setup we were waiting for yesterday, and this was insane, right? This was a really good setup. I can't find the Volks on TradingView. So if you go on TradingView, you just have to type in Volks, right, with all, and then it's just the FXCM. You should have it. You should have this one. You should have it. But this was the setup from yesterday, my friend. Barrel, I hope I said it correctly, but this is what the setup was from yesterday. This is a pre-New York setup, right? So, and then we just, like I said, whenever 12 o'clock for me, it likes to rate liquidity on either side of the first 12 hour, right? So we just swept liquidity on this 12 hour. And there's a big chance it wants to reverse, but it needs to reverse in alignment with what the VIX is telling me, right? Otherwise, I can't take it. So yeah, that's what I need to look at, right? Let me mark this out again. Because we can see now that if we look at it from this perspective, we just swept the previous 12-hour high, right? And we're moving down now. The hourly is trading to the downside, which is good. If we're looking at the VIX, we can see that the VIX actually traded. It went back to that level, you see that, and it instantly sold off to the downside. But the Nasdaq is staying lower at the moment. Let's see what happens here, whether or not, if this wants to continue lower, that the Nasdaq is going to keep rising. If not, we're going to see what happens. May I know who's your mentor and where can I learn how you trade? I have a video right here. This is an unlisted video. Fam. It's just my own video, right? So you can, what you can do is you can watch it, and I explain a little bit about time frame synchronization. It's a free video, guys, so anyone can watch it. You have to press the link though. It's not on YouTube. Well, it's not live on YouTube. It's just unlisted. But when it comes to learning how to trade like me with the time, I don't really know if anyone does it. Like I know someone that I've learned it from, but he's not gonna teach anyone, right? He's a hidden warrior. He's making a shit ton of money with the time sequences and stuff, and trading time from time to time to time. He knows it precisely, but how he trades is really hard to understand, right? I find it hard to understand, but there's a certain sequence in time, right? Meaning that certain times like to trade back to certain times. You see what I mean? And it truly is like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm using this, but I'm using it in my own model, right? But I've been already telling you guys that what I will do is I will make a PDF where I explain precisely, also with the data that I've gathered, on how I look at the charts, right? And once I have the PDF ready, I'll send it over to you guys, and you can test it for yourself. Because don't take anything I say as factual at all, right? You can test it for yourself and make your own analysis on it. But yeah, having the times on the chart, you already will see what I'm talking about. Do you guys want to have access to the indicator? Let me know in the chat. Press 1 in the chat if you want to have the access for the indicator, then I'll share it with you guys. Get him to appear on your stream. He's not going to do that, bro. He's not going to do that, I can assure you. He's making too much money trading. He doesn't want to share that information just regularly. All right, I'll share you guys the indicator. Let's see. Let's see. Can I? All right, let me know if this works. Let me know if this works. Let me know if you can actually add it to your chart. May I know, are you on live trading for selling a course or do a mentorship? I do not have a mentorship. I'm not selling anything. What a help does it do? So you can mark out the times that you want to have on the chart, right? So I use it for all the times that I currently have. New York session open, all the 4-hour candles and stuff like that. So I have an understanding, okay, where are we in the current 4-hour candle, right? And I don't have to look at the current 4-hour to look at it, but it gives me an understanding on the lower time frame. We got 400 viewers. Oh, guys, you're right. I didn't even notice. You're right. I didn't even notice. That's crazy. I didn't even notice. That's actually mental. I hope you guys are doing all right. Took a trade yesterday. Yeah, well, we were waiting for the setup, but it ran away from us. For the trade from yesterday, it ran away from us, sadly. But it was a really nice setup. We had a nice read on the market. The read was completely correct, but sadly, the trade went without us, like a couple of points away from our entry. Yeah, so you can add your own times, guys, right? Are you trading gold? Yes, I also trade gold, but gold right now is not doing anything, right? So gold is out of the picture right now. Take a trade already. Yeah, what do you want me to do, bro? What do you want me to do? Tell me. I wish I could make the markets move for you, bro. I wish I could, but I can't. Like, what do you want me to do? I wish I could, bro. I wish I could, man. If I had like the liquidity that JP Morgan has, I would tell you, yo, buy now, you know? Scalp, yeah, but it's impossible, bro. It's not possible to scalp this market, bro. There's not enough liquidity to get involved easily and get out again, right? Flip the coin. Yeah, I'm not flipping the coin, guys. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not here to entertain, right? I'm sure I'm live streaming, I'm talking, I'm explaining whatever I see, but I'm here to trade. You see what I mean? So whenever I see something, I will definitely take it. But and yeah, like I'm not gonna just randomly enter trades. Yeah, I'm not trading. You know, I'm just talking with you guys, with the fam, with the legendary traders. So let me know if this actually works, guys. So if you want to know the settings, it's simply midnight open, right? 000, and then you put a 1 at every single one of them to make it work. And then I have 2 o'clock London, and everything is on the New York session, right? So everything is on New York time. And just see, I'll give you a couple of examples. 6 likes to trade back to intraday 2 o'clock, right? So that's something you could look at, right? That 6 o'clock comes back to 2. 2 o'clock likes to come back to midnight or liquidity, right? So 2 o'clock sometimes likes to trade back to midnight, right? And you'll see eventually, if you look at enough charts, you will see what I'm talking about, right? Let's get to 1,000 subs, guys. That's crazy. You're right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. 420 people that are watching live right now. I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for tuning in, even on a bank holiday, which is crazy. Hit the like button. You're right. Hit the like button. That would be highly appreciated. And make sure to smash up the notification bell so you know when I go live next time. So you guys can tune in whenever I'm doing my analysis. Do you trade your own account or prop firm? I do both. I do both. I do both. Right now we're trying to pass this account live. We're up $1,000, $1,100 on the account. We already were trading another account before that was up 1,700. You can watch the previous live streams. But I accidentally entered 3 NQ contracts instead of micros, and the account was gone in a couple of seconds, right? So you can watch it live. Just go back to the live streams, and you can see how we're trading the account together. But yeah, what I want to do is I want to trade the account live, show you guys that I pass it live, then take a payout live, And yeah, then everything is set, right? You guys can see that it all works. That's the idea here. The indicator is just showing me days. No, you have to adjust the settings. So you have to take some stuff off, right? You have to take some stuff off and you have to take some stuff on. Which prop firms do you like? I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm not really an advocate of just saying what prop firms you should be trading with. I know a lot of influencers do that and they get paid heavy amounts of money, but I'm not really that guy, right? I think you should trade whatever prop firm you think works the best for you and make sure you read the rules, right? So what you do is you go to, I'm trading with Lucid right now. What you do is you go to Lucid, you take the rules, you take their sign agreement and stuff, you put it into ChatGPT and you ask it, what is it selling me, right? And then you see, okay, do I like it, yes or no? And then you make a decision. What up, bro? Over 400. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? We got 400 people tuning in. Who's actively watching right now? Press a 1 in the chat if you're actually actively watching. And let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're from. Any trade you make today? Yeah, sadly not. I wish, but it's not really doing anything. We just swept liquidity. I'm waiting to see whether or not we're going to respect this red line here. And if so, I might look for a short here. But right now the VIX is selling off pretty drastically. All right, so the VIX is selling off pretty drastically, as you guys can see. And as you guys know, I'm not trading the Nasdaq itself. I'm trading with the VIX combined, right? So if this wants to continue lower, I just can't trade the short on the Nas. Florida, actively listening. Nice. Would you still sell at 900? Right now, I wouldn't. No. But it depends whether or not they're going to respect it, right? So if they come back, they respect it. The VIX is moving higher again. I might. But right now, because the VIX is selling off this drastically, you can see instantly how the Nasdaq is also moving higher, right? Like the correlation is a little bit lower today because of the market. It's like there's no volume, right? There's no, look at this. There's nothing happening, you see? I'm trying to make the best out of it, but there's just nothing happening right now. So we have to either see something, and otherwise we just have to, you know, wait for the good old days to come back next week. From Utopia, do you look at ES? Yes, I do look at ES. I do look at the SMT divergences and stuff. We can see a clear one right now, right? So we have a clear SMT. And we can see that we're trading lower on ES and we're trading higher on Q. But it had a massive divergence the last couple of days, guys, which is just insane, right? Like ES was moving higher and Q was sinking lower. It was instant. It was insane. Hello from Romania. Welcome to the live stream. I'm short in silver. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, silver is moving in comparison to gold. Well done. You also had a bearish divergence in relationship to gold and silver. But yeah, so silver is definitely moving. Let's see though. Yeah, I'm still looking for the longs on gold, but right now it's not doing anything. Right? I'm still waiting for DXY to go higher. This might happen next week though. We might see a good trade next week. Are you going to trade today when you see your point of interest? Yeah, I would be trading. Like we already had a limit set, but I removed it because of the VIX. But I'm just waiting to see what happens here, right? Like I don't have anything set now. But whether or not they want to flip this hourly candle is something I'm looking at. And see what happens, you know? Whether or not they want to trade it lower again. Take all this liquidity out. This low resistance liquidity, right? But I don't know. We have to see. Because the VIX, guys, look at the VIX. It's just selling off insanely hard, right? I can't trade against it. So good morning from Seattle. Good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. Gold about to crash. Yeah, that could definitely be the case. Yeah, it's not really doing anything. So I'm not gonna. I told you guys before. I'm not trying to trade the anticipation of the move. I'm trying to trade the move, right? So I can say whatever I want. If it's not happening, I'm not trading it, right? So I'm just waiting. Like I just have to wait. I have no choice. Aloha to everyone. Hello. How much does the VIX increase your confidence with your trades? A lot. Yeah, a lot. Because the thing is, I said it in the beginning of the live stream, right? I'm asking you guys again. We got a couple of new guys here now. How many of you guys, I'm going to ask you guys, who's actively watching? Press a 1 in the chat if you're actively watching. Like, and you're willing to answer a question for me. If you're willing to answer a question for me. All right, we've got a lot of people here. Nice, nice. Okay. How much more profitable would you be if you stopped messing about? And I'm asking you this question genuinely with a kind heart, right? How much more profitable would you be if you stop messing about? Meaning as in, if you stop taking unnecessary trades, just to trade, right? If you stop doing that, everything changes. Like a lot of people that are in the chat right now, some of you guys that might not be profitable yet, are already profitable. The only reason you don't see it yet is because you're taking trades you shouldn't be supposed to be taking, right? That's just what trading is about. So that's why using anti-correlation assets that are defining whether or not you should be trading already takes away a lot of those unnecessary trades. You see what I'm saying? Right? That's what I mean. Because for me, right, like I'm telling you guys, I'm going to be straight and honest with you. Being profitable as a prop firm trader is not, it's hard, right? It's hard, but it's really easy to make money prop firm trading if you have a lot of capital to use, right? So if I buy 20 accounts and let's say I lose 17 of them, I got one payout. In the comparison asset, right, I'm already probably making money just by one payout, but I lost 1,500 to make 2,500. You see what I mean? So I made money, but it cost me a lot of money to make the money. And I'm right now in a stage for my trading journey that I'm reducing the cost more and more. So meaning that it costs me less to make more. Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? So it costs me less to make more money. That's the thing. That's where I'm currently at in my trading journey. It's not that I'm the best trader out there, and I'm not going to claim that I am, because I'm not, right? Like generally speaking, I'm not. There's probably a lot of people out there that are way better than me, but I'm in the same boat as you guys. You see what I mean? I'm trying to make something work that has an uncertain outcome, and I'm trying my best at it every single day. I'm just here because I love the game. I don't know how it is with you guys, but that's just you know, I love it. I love trading. I love it. Psychology is the most important thing. Yeah, I believe so. I agree, my friend. I do agree so. That psychology, and I think psychology, it's a perspective thing, right? So when it comes to trading psychology, you need to have different perspectives on understanding, okay, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Meaning that it might be something, for some guys, it might be a mathematical problem, meaning that you are profitable overall, but because you are making silly mistakes, your math doesn't add up and you get frustrated, right? And you have to find the cue, right? If you guys, anyone ever heard of the book, The Power of a Habit? Let me know in the chat if you ever heard of it before. If you haven't, make sure to read it. It's a really good book. But every causal factor in this world has a cue, right? There's a reason why something happens. The law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect, right? The law of cause and effect. You have to find what the actual causal factor is of you making those silly mistakes. That's what you have to do. And if you find it, you have to rewire the habit, right? You have to rewire it. You have to become aware of it and you change it. And that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing, guys, right? And then eventually everything starts to click. Because I think, let me know in the chat who's actively watching right now. Press the 1 in the chat if you're actively watching. I'm going to ask you guys this question, right? And I think a lot of you guys already understand when I'm saying this to you. But when you're when you're sitting down, you close your eyes, you feel it in your bones. What you have to change to become profitable. Am I wrong? You feel it in your bones. You can feel it. Like I felt every time when I did something, I'm like, if I don't do this, I'm already there. I'm already there. Why am I doing this? And that's the thing. That's that one thing that you have to change. And so many people, the longer you're looking at charts, you have the experience. You can know, you can tell to yourself what you have to change to become profitable. You just have to find the cue. You have to find the reasoning of why you keep doing those silly mistakes, and everything changes. Everything changes. I'm telling you, everything changes. Yeah, let me know if that makes any sense what I just said. But that was it for me, guys. Right? Like actually sitting down with myself, like I'm doing now, right? Writing down, okay, what is the reason why I feel the way I feel? Why am I repeating silly behavior, right? And some people might say, yeah, it's because you don't have a clear system. But I don't think that is, right? I don't think that is the case, because I believe personally that trading partially is an intuitive thing that you're doing. You've seen the charts doing it over and over again, And that's how you make your analysis, right? But if your intuition is telling you one thing, but your emotional side of things is telling you another thing, you might not follow the logical reasoning, right? Because anyone can say to themselves, it's a good idea to enter there, it's a good idea to exit here, but the moment you're in the trade, something goes wrong. And that's not your overall technical side of things, that's your emotional side of things, right? And you have to fix that if you want to let your edge play out. That's just what it is. But yeah, I can share the indicator once again. Give me 1 sec. So, let me see. Yeah, okay. Thomas, you're doing your own thing. Love it, man. Go for it. Yo, Lucifer. Yes, man. Yeah, I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate it, bro. You need to change the YouTube profile picture. No, bro. It's nice. AI made me look hot, guys. Don't you guys agree? Look at this profile picture. Don't you guys think that AI made me look way better than I actually look? You don't agree? The wisest man in the game, and that with the age of 23. I'm not the wisest in the game, my friend. I appreciate the compliment. I'm just someone that tries to take in as much information as I can and let it make sense to me, you know? Let it make sense. Let it make sense. I'm in a buy from 127. You're in a buy from 127? Wait, you're in a buy all the way down here? Or you're talking about gold? If you're in a buy all the way from down here on the nest, then I mean you're good, you know? Oh, you're in gold. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, but I trade futures, bro. So I don't trade. You're down in the buy from here. I trade futures. I don't look at the gold spot chart. So is it right here that you're in the buy from? I mean, for now you're definitely good, bro. For now you're definitely doing good. The thing is, what you have to watch out for, I think, is something you could look for, is the moment we start breaking higher on the dollar. You might want to consider maybe taking a partial and maybe re-adding to the trade once it goes in your favor again. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I've been looking at it to trade the Ford, but it doesn't seem like it wants to do anything for us today. You're right. Can you share the settings again? Yeah, sure, bro. No problem. So these are the settings of the indicator. It's not that crazy. You just, whatever time you like the most, what you do is you just take the time. Right here you can put the whatever you want to show, right? 2 o'clock, whatever. And then you pick the time and then you use 01 at the end. So it actually takes, it takes the precise opening of the candle. We can see that the VIX is selling off drastically, right? If the VIX keeps selling off like this, we can't sell the Nasdaq, basically. We don't have a choice. Yes, sometimes the best trade and the trade decisions are not the trade at all. 100%, bro. 100%. Like, okay, let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens, whether or not we made the right decision taking out our position here. I think we did. They're looking at the VIX, but we'll see whether or not they're going to respect it. But what you're saying is completely right, my friend. Sometimes the best decision is to not trade at all. And the thing is with trading, guys, the only way to lose money in trading is when you're trading. You see what I mean? And we're in a game that we need to preserve our capital. And the best question you need to ask yourself is, am I willing to risk money on this position over and over again? If the answer is no, don't take it. There's another trade tomorrow. The problem is with having desires and stuff, and especially within the trading space where a lot of these influencers are showing you like 10,000 withdraw, 30,000 withdraw, a new Lamborghini, whatever, you know? Like you have so much desire that you want it so badly, you want it right now, right? But it's not realistic, right? You're not going to make a Lamborghini in a day. Maybe in the future you will, but most of the times it's not realistic, right? And if you keep having those desires making you guide your trading decisions, you're going to make the wrong decisions. You're going to trade with the wrong intentions, and you're going to potentially lose money. All right, look at this. They actually respected the hourly open here, right? But let's see what happens, because the VIX is selling off drastically, but they did respect the hourly open here. We're not in the position. We had a limit set right here, but we're not in it anymore. So whether or not it plays out, I'm not going to take any credit for it, right? Like I said before, I'm not here to take credit. I'm just here to make good trades. I didn't take it because of the VIX. If you look at the VIX, it's just selling off so drastically that I don't want to get involved, regardless of it playing out, yes or no. Are you trading? Yeah, we had a limit set, but I took it out. I'm going to follow you in the future more. I appreciate that, my friend. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you guys enjoy the live stream, make sure to smash up the like if you enjoy it. And hit the notification bell so you know when I go live again. If this is a good channel if you trade gold the first time. Yeah, well, I think, yeah, I think so, maybe, you know? Yo, read my comments. Sorry, bro, I didn't see it, man. The chat is heavily going on right now. I didn't see it, bro. 500 people watching. Congrats. Yeah, it's insane. I have no idea. I have no idea what to say. Now, gold right now is not doing anything, guys. But yeah, we can also look at the dollar here. See what the dollar is going to do for us. But yeah, let's see what happens here on NQ, whether or not it's actually gonna go and seek that level to the downside without us, or with without us, basically, right? I'm not in, at least. ICT, yeah, I did study ICT. I've watched this entire 2016 mentorship a couple of times, actually. I don't know how it survived, but I watched it. I had like multiple notebooks and everything full of it. If you want to learn a lot about ICT, guys, there is someone you could watch. He has also his own YouTube channel. I'm all about shouting other people out, right? I'm all about people that are doing an amazing job here. Give me a second here. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. So if you really want to learn a lot about ICT, someone you could watch is TJR Trades, right? I've watched him a lot in the past as well. He actually explains pretty good about ICT concepts, giving you a complete understanding of everything. Just understand that he's giving you partial videos, right? It's not that he's giving you a complete strategy. You have to make it work yourself, of course, right? Okay, I'll share the link. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I actually I showed the channel. Give me 1 sec. So if you want to learn more, you can watch this guy, right? Here you go. He's in the chat. It's called TJR Trades, right? He's a good guy to watch. He has some really good value, guys. He has a really good value on trading. I never heard of the VIX. Now, the VIX is not like NQ. It's a volatility index, right? But it measures buying and selling options and stuff and everything like it. So the VIX, it's a volatility index, basically. But the VIX is the anti-correlation to the Nasdaq. What often happens is when the Nasdaq goes up, the VIX is moving down, right? In the most favorable situation. So I never actually understood what the VIX was before I actually started to study it, but I always used it in the past. So I used it because I understand the technical side of things. I'm now getting more into the fundamentals and everything like it. You know, I'm developing still, guys. I'm still a developing trader. You see what I mean? I'm still developing. I'm not like, guys, understand me. I'm just like you guys, right? For everyone who's watching around the world, I'm just like you guys, right? I'm just trying to make something work here. I'm not someone special. I don't have blue blood. I have red blood. I'm not royal, right? I'm just a regular guy. You know, I work out, I read a lot, I do whatever. I'm just trying to make it work, you know, just like everyone else. And I'm really glad that you guys are here to try and do it with me. You know, I'm not special. I'm not, by all means. You know, I'm not trying to make it seem that way. I'm just trying my best, trying to make it work. Thomas, back to 6 a.m. yesterday. I hope so, but right now it's the VIX is definitely selling off drastically, man. Look at that stuff. And we went down for sure, but it's moving up again, right? So yeah, I love how humble you are. I appreciate it, I guess. I'm not trying to be like, you know, I'm just trying to be as good as I can be, you know. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of hate recently in the world. Let's try to make it better, guys. Any day above ground is a good day, right? It's a saying I've been living by for the last couple of months. I say to everyone who asks me how I'm doing, I say, any day above ground is a good day, right? If you're living, guys, come on. Like if you're thinking about it, like 250 years ago or a long time ago, the life expectancy of people was way shorter than now, right? Like guys, we're living in the most beautiful era that's ever been that there's ever been. You know, we're communicating with each other on the other side of the planet. You know how crazy that is. I mean, like, come on. You know how beautiful that is. I could decide to take a plane now and fly to Asia, right? You understand? You understand how crazy that is? That's just, man, beautiful life. And now we're trading with markets. We're trying to, you know, put some lines on the chart, trying to trade the markets. You know how beautiful that is? There's a fly here, trying to fight a fly. It's so true. It's amazing times, 100%, you know? It's 100% like that. And the fact that we're all in a position now that we are trying to make money, right? You know, we're trading the financial market and we all have the option, you know, to trade the live markets to generate some wealth for ourselves. Man, isn't that beautiful? We can buy back our time, guys. You know, we can buy back our time. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. Like hundreds of years ago, if you were born a farmer, you would die a farmer, right? Right now, you can be born anywhere in the world. Some people have, of course, I understand that I'm from the West, so I understand that I'm in a lucky position to live here, right? But anywhere over the world, you can make it happen. If you have an internet connection, you can study, you can make it happen. And back in the day, that wasn't possible, guys, right? So I'm really grateful for the fact that that we had some guys out there that made it for us, made it happen for us. By the way, the market's not doing anything today. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. I thank the universe that I have a comfy bed, air conditioning. Yeah, that's good as well. Yeah, clean water and a full belly. Millions of people don't have that. 100%. 100%, guys. So what I do is I travel to countries, right? And I try to see, okay, what is the average life of someone else, right? I'm really, like, a lot of people are not aware of that, like here in the West especially. But when I travel to a different country, I just don't know what to say now. But when I go there and I see people, right, and they have an average life, for them, an average life for us is like you're really poor for most Western folks, right? And they are working. Okay, we made the right decision here, guys. Well done. W in the chat for taking it out. The VIX is showing it to us, so I'm glad the VIX did that. But they're working 12 hours a day, right? I went to Egypt. I went across Egypt, and I visited Egypt. I went all over the world, and they're working 12 hours a day in the beating sun, making 10 hours in a day, and that really humbled me because I'm asking myself this question. I'm like, okay, why am I even complaining? And these guys, I come to them, they talk to me, we have a good time. They are happier than a lot of folks that I know that make an average income of 2,500 euros a month. You see what I mean? And sometimes you need to put yourself in that perspective, guys. As in, for me at least, you know, from the West, but you put yourself in the perspective that there's a lot of people out there that have less than you, but they manage to do well and they're mentally happy. You know, they're living the life. It's good to think about it sometimes, guys, and put yourself in the situation, you know, because now I truly appreciate that I can trade. You know, I truly appreciate that I have the option to do this. Thank you from Egypt. No problem, my friend. No problem. Has to be set, right? It's for any place over the world, of course, my friend, right? It's just in general. How young are you? I'm 23 years old. I'm 23 years old. All right, so W in the chat for taking that trade out. I'm glad we did that. If you look at the VIX, it's just selling off lower and lower and lower. I see Bowser's mentioning that we're gonna go back to 6 o'clock from yesterday. Let's have a look here. Yeah, it might indeed come back to 6 here from yesterday. Yeah, like I said, I can't just take the long, sadly. No, yeah, okay. We got a new hour now. Let's see what this new hour is gonna do for us. So we got the new hourly open here. Maybe that's funny, right? They open a non-bottom wick on the hour and they push higher, go lower, and now we have a non-bottom wick again. That's interesting. No, I'm 23 years old. 23 years old. Guys, what do you think about gold? That's a good question, man. Nothing right now. Like, sadly, it's not doing anything, right? I wish I was thinking like this when I was this young. I appreciate it, man. I'm happy that I decided. For a lot of guys, maybe there are some guys here that are younger or around my age. The best decision I ever made in my life is stepping into a boxing gym, right? That's the best decision I ever made in my entire life. Of course, you need the right trainer, but boxing taught me a lot about discipline and about life, right? So I made that decision when I was 14, and I'm still boxing, so it's almost 10 years, almost a decade. But that's the best decision I've ever made, to put myself in that physical situation, right? So find something in life that's challenging, right? Do something that's out of your comfort zone. I'm not saying that what all these gurus or all these people, influencers on Instagram, say that you need to put yourself in an ice bath or whatever. You don't have to do that type of stuff. Just find something that is good for you, right? It's challenging, so you can build. Discipline is a small choices over a longer period of time, right? And it's good for you. Trust me. Do something like that. What time you open in your tube? I go live every day at 6 o'clock for the New York time. So around 3 hours ago is when I go live on YouTube most of the time. What time frame are you looking on the VIX? I mostly use the higher time frame on the VIX. So when I'm trading the VIX, I look at the higher time frame. I'm not looking at the 1 minute. That's unclear to me. So I'm looking at, okay, where can the higher time frame go? And right now I'm looking for lows. So that means the Nasdaq looks for highs in this instance, right? For me. What do you expect for gold today? Well, the gold is purely based for me right now around the dollar, right? So if we're looking at the gold chart, it's not doing anything, right? Gold's not doing anything. But if the dollar manages to come back to this gap, so you have a lower closure and higher open, and they form some form of resistance here, then I would like to see gold go higher. But I want to see it go lower first, right? So, and then go higher. What time frame? Oh, it's like so. Okay, I have the 1 hour open on the VIX, and I have the 3 hour open now. But I sometimes look at the 12 hour and the daily. So I have, yeah, that's what I do. I did not long NQ so far. No, I didn't. Are you in a long position? I'm not in long, bro. I don't think this is favorable right now at the moment. Where do you think NQ will go today? That's a good question. It depends on what the VIX will do. If the VIX continues to sink, I think that NQ might want to keep rising. But it doesn't mean that we can't go lower first. Look at this move, by the way. That's a really random candle out of the bloom. It's only 20 points. It looks like it's 100 points, but it's only 20. I've been longing since the morning. Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah. I missed out. The thing is with trading, guys, I'm telling you this right now, I'm going to give you my honest and fair opinion on it, is that I could say that I think that the market is going to keep rising for the rest of the day, right? I could say that. The problem is with trading is that nothing is definite until it's closed, right? How many times do you see a daily candle go like this, 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 and then close it out, right? That's the problem with trading, right? Nothing is definite until it's closed. So me saying that what I think is going to happen within the next 5 hours from now, yeah, it's not valuable. I can assure you, right? I could be right a couple of times, right? I could be right a couple of times and say, I think it's going to keep rising. But the fact is that I don't know, right? We shouldn't predict on what is going to happen in the future, right? That's why I say I don't trade the anticipation of the move. I trade the move itself. You see what I mean? So whenever I'm trading the market, I'm actively looking, okay, what is happening now currently? And what do I think the next hour could do based on the structure, right? And if I manage to take 2R out of the market, even though the market did 1,000 points, man, I'm happy, right? If I can make 50 points on a continuous basis, on a week-to-week basis, you can become a millionaire over a couple of years, right? If you can do that, like genuinely speaking. So why would I have to, I don't need to know everything. I just need to know whatever's happening within my 3-hour period. So like, for example, when I start at 6, I normally would end at 9 o'clock. We're still live. I will be ending shortly. But I would look for a 3-hour period to look for a trade. And nothing, as you guys can see, for the guys that are wondering, if you look at this period from 6 to 9, did anything happen? Right? I'm just asking you guys, did anything happen? The answer is no. Right? We've been trading and looking at it, but nothing happened. Yeah, we should never predict. No, you're right. You're completely right, my friend. Yeah, the market is closed in the USA today. Yeah, that's mostly the reason why the volume is so bad right now. That's mostly the reason. Is there? What is the meaning of ICT? It means the inner circle trader. Thomas, you have 815 subs with 500 active viewers, which is insane. Some people with 10k subs can't even get 1k active viewers. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea. I think, I don't know what to say, guys. I really appreciate it. For everyone who's tuning in and is watching, yeah, thank you. Like, I don't know what to say. I have no idea why, but I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed the live stream and you got anything out of it for today, then please smash up the like. That would be highly appreciated. Look, we're selling off on gold. Dollar is rising. Let's see what happens when we tap into that gap. Maybe we get something here on gold. Let's see. I'm willing to stay a little bit longer. How about a few giveaways? We will do giveaways in the future for sure. Yeah. Yeah, if you guys, I already said it before, if I will do giveaways, I do them on Instagram. So if you guys want to be involved in those giveaways, make sure to follow me on Instagram, because that's where I would be hosting most of them. You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is Thomas Jacoba. I'm not like a crazy influencer or something like that, right? I only have 100 followers. I'm not some crazy guy, but you can follow me on Instagram. And if I do giveaways, I'll do them on Instagram or through Instagram, and I'll let you guys, of course, know on YouTube if I'm going to do them. But you can see that gold's actually selling off now. So let's have a look here. The DXY is rising. Maybe there is a potential long opportunity coming soon on gold. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. I had to change. Sorry, Eric. I had to change the screen to the gold chart. My bad. I'm about to create a bot indicator that tells me when the VIX is bullish and when it's bearish. Yeah, that's a good idea, man. That's a good idea. Let me know how it works out for you. Yeah, I've been looking into that to create some indicators maybe around my models. So you guys, if you want to, you can then use the indicator. It might be easier, But trading is discretionary, I think is how you say it. I'm not sure. But the thing is with trading is like there's a part of intuitive feeling that comes to play, right? And if you have a systematic bot that says do A, B, C, D, in the long run, they often don't work, right? The reason why is because there's always that intuitive feeling that comes to play, right? That you learn by looking at charts over and over and over again. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? Hope you're doing good. If gold holds that, we're kind of bullish. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm looking for potential longs. Yeah. I'm looking for potential longs. If I'm looking at the DXY right now, seeing whether or not it wants to short. Good morning from New Jersey. Welcome, my friend. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Where are you from? I'm from Amsterdam, or well, the Netherlands. I live close to Amsterdam, for the guys that are wondering. Do you guys want to see my view? Do you guys want to see my... I will make a picture. I'll make a picture. Give me 1 second. I'll show you guys my view from my house. Give me 1 second. Look, so this is my view. Oh wait, maybe I need to slow it down a bit. Look, you guys see that? This is my view. That's my back. That's the back of my house. It's pretty nice, right? In the middle of nowhere, guys, in the countryside, close to Amsterdam. Isn't that amazing? Good evening from India. Welcome, my friend. Welcome to the live stream. He has 20 acres of backyard. It's a big yard, guys. It's a big yard. No windmills. No, luckily I'm happy that I don't have any windmills in the backyard, because those things make an awful sound, my guy. Those make an awful sound. You must be tall. No, I'm not that tall. I'm 185. So 185. In meters, right? So 1 meter and 85 centimeters. You like Max Verstappen? Well, yeah, of course. He's the Dutch folk that races, right? I don't watch it though, but yeah, my family does for sure. Let's have a look here, guys. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything here on the NQ. We're gonna wait and see if potentially gold can give something to us. If gold does it, I'm willing to potentially look for a long on gold if we tap into this level on DXY. That's about 4.2. No, it's about 6, I think. Yeah, it's a 6.1 feet. So I'm 6.1 feet, guys. We're selling off again on the Nasdaq. Yeah, the market is closing earlier today, for sure. Yeah, we have a bank holiday. That's why the volume and it's so undecisive right now. It's not looking all too bright. The VIX is still selling off, but the Nasdaq is moving to the downside, which is interesting. So I'm not really confident regarding that move. Oh, whoa, look at this. You guys see that? You guys saw that? Interesting. Interesting. That's a bit of a dangerous one here, isn't it? What time will the market close? It depends on what you're trading, but the gold will close in 3 hours and 40 minutes from now, and the Nasdaq will close in 2 hours and 40 minutes, if I'm right. Oh no, also 3 hours and 44 minutes. So it's at 12 o'clock. Do not long. No, I'm not longing it from here. No, I'm not. I'm longing it once we give a confirmation on the dollar to the downside again, and that would be lower, right? I want to long it lower. How Volks can move based on what when the market is closed. Yeah, this is the forex, right? So it's a forex broker, bro. But it's in correlation to the VIX, right? Like I've seen it. I've used both of them side to side, and the reason I'm using the Volks is because it looks cleaner and it moves cleaner than the VIX. That's the reason why I'm using it. But it's a forex broker basically, right? It's not a futures one. So that's why it's open. No trade is the same as if you went into the market and then a break even. Yeah. Now the thing is with trading, guys, that every trade is an individual trade, right? Like it's the same thing with when people talk about their win rate and stuff. Like your win rate is always it's like something that changes along the way, right? It's not something static. It's also something you shouldn't be chasing. Like I've been talking to some guys, I've been asking some guys questions that are doing way better than me, by the way, that made like 300K in payouts, and we're trading around the same ideology, right? And I asked him, it's like, what is your variance when it comes to trading, when it comes to your win rate? And I have a variance that I go from 40 to 60, right? So I'm between 40 and 60. It varies on the market and it varies on my decisions that I make. And he's the same, you know? So it doesn't matter. Like it varies, guys. You know, the market just, sometimes it gives you your edge, and sometimes it doesn't. And the most important thing is that when the market is not giving you the edge, you manage to either step away, right? Especially if you're trading, let's say you're trading in the day and you're trying to trade the breaker formations and stuff like that, and they just keep getting stopped out and stuff. You just need to step away, because sometimes the market is just not in the mood to let your edge play out. It's that simple. And you adjust yourself accordingly, right? If you see that your win rate is falling drastically and it stays around the same level, you might have to adjust yourself to it. So you lower your contract size until it actually starts to come back up again, you know? If the market is becoming more and more favorable for however you trade. Do you have a Telegram channel? No, I don't. I do not have a Telegram channel. I don't have a Telegram. I'm on a losing streak last week. Applied for a payout. Since then, all trades are going the opposite. And then the payout's being rejected. Oh, that's really tough, my friend. That's really tough. Yeah, you know, like I don't really precisely know what could be the reason. You know, like I know that for me, when I had my first payout, I had like that euphoria feeling, right? That I felt like I was a god, and I started trading way more than I should have, and also blew the account. And I still have it from time to time. If I take a big payout home and I only be left with a 1,000 in drawdown, I think like, oh, whatever, you know. And I trade it way too aggressively, and I don't build it back up, and then you blow the account, and then you feel like a loser because the account was already passed and it didn't cost you anything to keep trading the account, right? How do you manage post payout? Do you adjust for ego? Yeah, well, that's exactly what I just explained, right? So the problem is that you have like that euphoria feeling that you get money and you take money home and you feel amazing, and you keep trading the same way. But you have to mathematically be trading based on what you leave yourself with drawdown. So if you leave yourself with 2,000 in drawdown, you have to step back again and start at where you started when you initially started the funded account, and you build it up again. If you like to increase your risk along the way, you need to be increasing it based on what you're making, right? So let's say you take 2 trades a day. Look at this market, by the way. This is insane. So the VIX is selling off drastically, and you can see that the Nasdaq is definitely following through higher. I'm glad that we did not take that short, because this wouldn't be good. How much is your buffer before a payout? I take the money when I see the money, bro. I take the money when I see the money. So it depends. Like it's not that I go for a max payout often, but when I see money, I take money. All right, it's important. Like I'm telling you guys, nothing is realized until it's in your bank account, right? Nothing is realized until it's in your bank account. So just because you're up 1,500 on over your buffer on whatever firm you're trading, if you don't take it out, it's not your money, right? So make sure you always take money, you know? Like, I'm not saying that if you're in the trade, like let's say you're in the trade here and your trade is a 1 to 2, that you should take it out of 1 hour. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the fact that if you have profit in your funded account and it's an X amount of money that you initially spend, let's say you spend $200 and you can take home $1,000, that's a 5x on the initial spending that you did. Take that money. I'm telling you. Take the money. Yeah, like let's say you spend $200 or $300 and you can only take out 200 or whatever. If there's no minimum that you need to take out, you might need to consider to make a little bit more, right? But don't, you know, because it's so easy to just give it back again. I'm telling you. What's your bias today? Right now I'm unbiased. I was looking for the short. We took that out, and now it's not. Yeah, I'm unbiased. When it comes to gold, I'm looking for longs, but I'm looking for longs way lower. So yeah, I'm not doing anything at the moment. Are you shorting ES? No, I'm not. I'm not shorting ES. I was looking to short the Nasdaq, but the VIX. So I use the VIX, the volatility index, to compare against the Nasdaq, and the VIX is selling off, and the Nasdaq just keeps rising. Right? I just can't trade now at the moment. What's your win rate? I have a variance between 40 to 60, but it's mostly between 40 to 50%. So I sometimes lose more than I win trades, but I make money, right? I'm not, like I told you guys before, like I'm not some special guru that tells you that I have a 70% win rate, because I don't. I might, maybe I could have, right? If I reduce the non-necessary trades, like I mentioned before. But I'm not special, you know. Like I truly, I'm not special. I try to stay around 40 to 50%, because I know in the end of the road it makes money. Of course, you need to have a 2R return on your trades, right? So that's important. For me, it looks like gold probably build a bottom wick and the correction will go up to new all-time highs. Do you think so? Yeah, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. It depends. It could be, but we're still moving down, right? So we have to really change structure, and might even have to change and switch above the day of the yearly candle open, because the year is currently bearish, right? So until that happens, yeah, it's more downside for me potentially. Did you go to uni? No, I did not. I got kicked out of school when I was 16 years old, guys. I get kicked out of school when I was 16 years old, and I've learned English by reading books, watching movies, and listening to podcasts. So I'm telling you guys, like maybe some of you guys can relate, but I school is not my thing, right? School never was my thing, and I have a really rough time with the system that we're living in, right? And you know, yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of you guys can relate to it, but I always have a feeling that the system wasn't made to make us, you know. What's your favorite movie learning English? I watch a lot of movies that are so I like Scarface a lot. Scarface. I watched that probably 20 times. So I watched Scarface. Bronx Tale I watch a lot. Wolf of Wall Street, The Big Short. There's a couple of movies that I like because I'm in that mindset, you know. 420 viewers. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, Jason. It's crazy. Just like trading, education is a choice. I believe that so as well. Plato said it once before, right? The education is not based on the teacher, it's based on the student, right? So Plato, if you guys don't know, Plato is one of the wisest philosophers to ever live in the West. And what he said is that it does not depend on the teacher whether or not the student will succeed. It depends on the student if they want to learn the education that's being presented to them. It's your education, not the teacher's education, right? That's what I'm saying, guys, right? So I stepped out of school. I got kicked out of it when I was 16. And now I'm reading The Republic by Plato. I'm reading Friedrich Nietzsche on a Saturday night as a 23-year-old, right? You see what I'm saying? So eventually, once you find something that you truly love and enjoy, you'll find a way to make it work, guys, right? You'll find a way to make it work. How much do you think about a trader needing to backtest daily? I don't think you need to backtest daily. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I do believe that making price action logs is a good thing, but backtesting, it depends on how you backtest, because backtesting is to a degree not realistic, right? It's to a degree not realistic. I think that you need to have an understanding of your edge, and then you need to forward test it in the market, as in you need to trade it live, because what a lot of people do in backtesting is they skim through it really fastly, right? And that's not how the market works. And the problem is the moment that you're in a position, how do you handle yourself then, right? That's the problem what most people have. Like, they have a 70% win rate on FX replay, and they go into the real market, and they only have a 30% win rate and lose money, right? So backtesting is not everything. You see what I'm saying? Bro, NQ, is it going up or down? Yeah, well, right now, at this current moment, it's going higher, right? Yeah, and if you're looking at the VIX, we are selling off lower. So right now, I wouldn't say that shorting is a good idea. But yeah, whether or not you can long this is a question, right? I wouldn't be trading this personally for the longs, because we're in the top of the day. So it could still reverse. It's a bit of a tough situation here for me now. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Let me know where you guys are from. We got 430 people watching still, which is, yeah, I start smiling when I say it, because it's so crazy to me. But let me know where you guys are from. I hope you guys are all doing fantastically well. Australia, nice. Welcome. Morocco. Oh, you guys won from us in the Champions League. Welcome, though. Welcome to the live stream. Russia, nice. Welcome. Slovenia, welcome. Canada, nice. Welcome. Welcome, guys. You're all welcome here. You know how beautiful that is? Like, of course, the market's not really doing anything today, but we're talking with each other. Like I said it before, we're talking with each other on the other side of the planet. You know, it's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me. Almost 900 subs. Crazy. Crazy. Guys, make sure to smash up the like, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. I never actually asked that before, but if you like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Marco, yeah, it's insane, right? Yeah, it's insane. Argentina, nice, welcome. Whole world with Thomas, yes, exactly. Can you explain the move from yesterday? Yeah, I can go over why I actually looked for a long setup. Maybe what we can do is just do the replay. I'm doing a replay right now, guys, so you guys understand that I'm not... Why is this? Oh, nope. Wait 1 second, guys. I'm going to do a replay so you guys understand the market's going to look a little bit differently. All right, so yesterday, when we were looking at the charts yesterday, we were actually looking for longs, right? I'm going to... Oh, look at this. The market is rising, rising, rising. Whoever is in NQ long now is laughing. Look at that stuff. The VIX is selling off drastically. But, okay, so for yesterday, right? Yesterday, when I started the live stream, we were looking for longs. Reasoning is simple. You had a clear break of structure higher, as you guys can see on the hourly time frame. And we were trying to get involved on a new hour on 6, right? This is 5 o'clock. I'm gonna skip it to 6 o'clock. All right, here's 6. Right? So the exact thing that we were looking for today, we were looking for longs, right? When we were looking at the VIX was selling off to the downside. So that already gave us the confirmation. You can see how 6, let me know in the chat who's actively watching right now. This is replay mode, by the way. This is replay mode. This is 6 o'clock, guys, right? This is the 6 o'clock model. You can see how 2 o'clock is left open, right? You see it's the same scenario as today, right? Same scenario. So 2 o'clock is left open, right? We trade back into 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is the London open, right? So you have 3 o'clock right here. That's your London open. So we gathered liquidity at 6 at 3, and we started moving higher, right? Started moving higher. I had my entry set right here at 6, right? With my stop below 6 o'clock low. Why? Below 6 o'clock low, guys. If it goes through that low, we're wrong, but we're also wrong in the creation of the candle, meaning this is a valid stop, right? I don't have to put it here. I can put it here, because if they break through this level again, there's a big chance they're going to go here. This already gives me a more confidence. You see what I mean, guys? You see what I mean? Gives me more confidence. And then we were trying to trade it back to 2 o'clock, right? Nice risk-to-reward ratio. It's untraded into. Should be a good target. Well, what happened? Price started messing about, and eventually went higher, right? Eventually went higher. So this is the model that we were trying to trade yesterday. What did actually happen? They came back into the fair value gap here and never actually came back to 6 to give us the entry, and started moving higher afterwards drastically, as you guys can see. And they took out all that low resistance liquidity. So this was the model we were looking for yesterday at 6. So, you know, so you guys understand what I'm looking for precisely, right? This is the same stuff we were looking for, as you guys can see here today, right? We were trying to trade it up again, or trading it down. Sorry, my apologies. We're trying to trade it down. Why? Because 2 o'clock is untraded into. But the problem for today's session is that the VIX is not backing up our position. So we're not in a trade. You see what I mean? I hope that makes sense. That's basically it. That's what we're doing. I hope that makes sense. Are you going to trade today? No, I'm going to call it for today, because the New York session just opened up. I don't trade the New York session. I look at the 3-hour window. We stayed longer a little bit now, but I'm going to call it. I'm going to be back on Monday, most likely, or on Tuesday, depending on the market. So that's it for me today, guys. We got 400 people watching. I don't know what to say, but I'm going to call it for today. You only trade the London session. Yeah, I trade 6 o'clock, 6 to 9. I sometimes do trade New York session, but it's more indecisive, so I don't like it that often. Yo, bro. Yeah, Mullah, what's up? Gold down more. Nah, gold is still hovering above this logo, bro. Start streaming on Kick to do multi-stream. You'll get paid hourly. Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, for now I'm just gonna do, you know, live stream on YouTube with you guys, and then maybe who knows what the future holds, guys. You know. How do you correlate NQ with the VIX deeper? To what degree do you mean deeper? I'm not on Kick, guys. I'm not on Kick. No, I'm not on Kick. I'm only on YouTube. I won't forget about the PDF. No, I won't forget about it. I will make sure to start working on it. It's going to take me some time, though, to work it out, but I will work on it. Okay, so look at it from this side, right? From a technical basis, right? When the VIX, the volatility index, is moving higher, it's negatively correlated against the Nasdaq, right? So the Nasdaq likes to tend to move the other direction in relationship to the VIX. That's just the technical approach. So what you can do is you can look at it, and you use both of them back to back, or next side to each other, basically, and you'll see precisely what I'm talking about, right? So just put the VIX on one chart, the Volks or the VIX, and look at the Nasdaq on the other chart, and you'll see precisely what I mean. You'll see precisely what I mean, bro. One second, I'm typing something. And okay, here you go. Here you go. I'll send it over, right? Here you go. So this is from Investopedia, right? So here you can study on what the VIX actually is. So it gives you a more in-depth explanation than what I can ever give you, right? But this gives you a reasoning of what the VIX actually is, okay? So for the ones that wants to understand what the volatility index is, right? The one that we are referring to, look at it from Investopedia and get an explanation of it, right? So I sent it out in the chat, guys. Let me know if you guys received it. It's Investopedia, right? You can watch, you can read everything about it there, and you get an in-depth explanation of whatever it is, right? And how, and then you might understand why I utilize it the way I utilize it. When do you come live? I'll come live next week again, around 6 o'clock New York time. But what you guys can do is you can get notified by clicking the notification bell on the channel. And the stream will be located earlier, right? So you'll see it whenever it goes live. But that's it for me today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. If you guys enjoyed it, smash a W in the chat. Yeah, I don't know what to say, guys. You know, we had like 400 people, 500 people. It's just crazy. You know, I don't know what to say. So I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the live stream, make sure to smash up the like. And I hope to see you guys next week. And hopefully the market's a little bit better so we can, you know, trade it again. But that's it for me, guys. Yeah, you're right. The futures are gonna close soon. Yeah. Now, okay, guys, have a lovely day ahead, and yeah, enjoy your weekend. You know, enjoy your weekend. All right. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and I speak to you next week. See you later. Bye.